7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports the slide happened just after midnight.
Crew said that it's so dark in that area, they just simply can't assess it properly or safely until the sun comes up. Now, WashDOT is handling this scene. We're here at exit 34, an absolute crawl as these trucks and a few different cars as well are trying to take this exit. Got to go up to Route 2. That's really your only option. Now, if you go from here all the way over to the Cle Elum area on Route 2, that's going to take you about 3.5 hours. That's still going to be shorter than if you sit here and wait for the highway to reopen.
Snohomish County is under a flood watch through Friday as heavy rain threatens to push the Snohomish River into a major flood stage. Forecasts show water levels rising above 30 feet today and topping 31 feet by Thursday. Lucia Smith is the Snohomish County Emergency Management Director.
Once the floodwaters arrive, it becomes really hard to get out. And so traveling through floodwaters is never a good idea.
Business owners say they'll close if necessary while residents prepare by moving vehicles to higher ground and stocking supplies. In Pierce County, the Puyallup River is putting communities from Orting to Sumner in danger. KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon has more.
The National Weather Service said the river hit 25 feet overnight in Puyallup. But in Orting, the river hit major flood stage and the highest levels there in a decade. All of that is a challenge for PSC crews.
We have to make sure that we get the damage assessment done first, and then we can decide what equipment we may need to start the restoration process. If there's water over the roadway, we have to wait to be able to get through and not move through unless it's safe to do so.
PSC says people should have their emergency kits ready with flashlights, non-perishable food, and a power bank pre-charged for your phone.
KIRO 7 TV's meteorologist Robert Van Winkle is tracking rising water levels at Snoqualmie Falls.
We could be looking at about 22 million gallons of water every minute coming over there. 1 minute, 22 million gallons of water. That would fill over 30 Olympic-sized swimming pools. So the water headed down the Snoqualmie, already at flood stage 2, means serious business. You should take some precautions through Wednesday as the levels continue to rise.
For people living around La Grande and Pierce in Thurston County, you may see some erosion near the Nisqually River. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun has details.
That's because Tacoma Power is about to increase the amount of water flowing out of La Grande Dam. They started this morning with a flow rate over the minor flooding level. No buildings should be threatened, but they want farms and people living near the Centralia Canal know that they might see some riverbank erosion, so a heads up for that.
A 75-year-old woman is recovering after she was viciously attacked on the streets of downtown Seattle. KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has details.
The attack happened just before noon Friday near 3rd Avenue and James Street. Police say the woman was waiting for the crosswalk when the man approached from behind. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says he was carrying a long stick with a metal screw in the end.
He swung the stick like a baseball bat, intentionally striking her in the face, causing serious facial injuries.
The woman had to have emergency facial surgery. The 42-year-old suspect is a convicted felon with a violent criminal past. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Pierce County deputies bust a major family-run marijuana grow operation in the South Hill, Puyallup, Spanaway areas. The suspected family members range in age from 36 to 70 years old. Deputy Carly Capetto with the Pierce County Sheriff's Office.
There was search warrants that were served on 3 homes associated with the illegal grow. 7 adult subjects were arrested.
More than 2,000 growing plants were confiscated along with $15,000 in cash and a handgun. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I-5 southbound, there's a crash after exit 165 near James Street. Again, that's southbound I-5. And as we let our newscast this morning, I-90 eastbound, both lanes in the eastbound direction are blocked right now because of a mudslide around midnight. So the workaround is Route 2. And for your forecast, we've got some break in the rain this morning, but it'll pick up again by this afternoon. Highs will be close to 50. Right now, it's about 45 in downtown Seattle. And coming up, Kevin Brassler from checkbook.org explains where you can get the best deals, which stores offer the highest quality, and whether Costco's membership really pays off. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Holiday shopping got you stressed? The Mariners have you covered. Grab a season ticket membership for the super fan in your life, and they can lock in the best seats and benefits like guaranteed postseason access. Or mix and match with single game tickets for everyone on your list. From opening day on March 26th to must-see matchups against the Yankees, Phillies, and more. This holiday season, make Mariners.com your one-stop shopping destination.
Oh, he makes the catch! What a snag by Julio Rodriguez!
It's always such a pleasure for me to catch up with you, Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And as I understand it, calendar year is wrapping up. There's never a better time to take care of your aches and pains. Why?
Well, it's always a great time to come see us here at IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. We'll take care of your aches and pains. We'll get you better. But particularly, Brock, at the end of the year, most people have met their deductibles. They may have HSA, may have FSA funds. So use the opportunity to use your insurance to treat those aches and pains so you're not taking them into the new year. So you're healthy, fit, and you're excited about the new year. That's what it's all about. Here at IRG, we are so dedicated to making sure our patients really understand the insurance because it's a complex world. So when you call us, we're going to help you navigate your insurance. But I will tell everybody listening right now, if you've met your deductible, get your aches and pains treated here at IRG. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your insurance. We'll take care of your family. We'll take care of everybody.
Clinics up and down the Puget Sound for you to go visit or see them online at irgpt.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
I love the fact that Mike Novak sells more homes than anybody else. This guy works so hard. You know what's happening? People are selling their homes again. And if you don't have Mike Novak's name on that sign, well, you're wasting your time and your house is just going to be sitting on the market. Mike is so confident that he can sell your house quickly. And for more, you'll pay no commission if Mike Novak doesn't sell that home in 21 days. So go to meetthenovaks.com. I'll spell Novaks for you. Novaks. Meetthenovaks.com.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
Well, supermarket prices keep going up. It's a real challenge to feed the family and stick to a budget. Ever wonder how much prices vary from one chain to another? Well, wonder no more. The nonprofit Consumers Checkbook surveyed supermarket prices in the Puget Sound area and found some huge price differences. And joining us live is Checkbook's Executive Director, Kevin Brassler, here with the results. Okay, before we name names, how was this survey conducted?
We have a market basket of 150 items that we use to shop stores. It's made up of common national brands, non-perishables. We also shop them for fresh produce prices, fresh meat prices, dairy prices. But it's a collection of items. It's loosely based on the Consumer Price Index survey, the categories there, and weighted according to, it's what shoppers buy in most grocery stores.
So what did you find?
We found really, as you said, Charlie, really big price differences from store to store, which is always, we do this study about every 2 years, and I've been there for 30 years and doing this for 30 years, and I'm always surprised at these big price differences because the margins for grocery stores are real small. We found that overall, for example, Winco had the lowest prices. It beat everyone. And its prices are about nearly 30% lower than what you'd find at Albertsons, Safeway, or QFC. So there are big savings to be had just based on which grocery store you frequent.
Okay, and I know always part of the equation, people say, well, I'm going to save some money at Costco. Did you find anything about that?
Yeah, Costco, so, obviously Costco has really low prices when we studied it just on a per unit price basis, because not every, it has an advantage in that it's only selling big stuff, but other supermarkets sell big stuff too. But overall prices at Costco were even lower than Winco's, but not low enough to where you'd really save money if you don't go often enough because you have to pay its annual fee. And the other thing is, if you're buying stuff at Costco and it goes bad before you can eat through it, then you're also not saving a lot of money. But of course, Costco's prices were very, very low. The other low price stores in the area were Walmart. Not a big surprise. Walmart's known for its low prices, but its prices weren't as low as Winco's. There's a chain called Grocery Outlet, which is kind of like has this weird cobbling together of kind of overstock. So you never know what you're going to get.
I love me some Grocery Outlet.
But its prices were just a little bit higher than Winco's. And the other big saver is Amazon Fresh. It now has a handful of stores in the area. It focuses on, it's a smaller format place than some of these other big grocery stores, but it had prices that are about 20% lower than the average, about 20% lower than Albertsons, QFC, et cetera.
So when we talk about this, we also think about quality.
Yeah.
What did you find about quality? Because I can think of some high-end places, Metropolitan Market, PCC. Those are, I would think, be the highest quality. What did you find?
Yeah, so we surveyed our members and asked them, what's your opinion of these stores? And we got thousands and thousands of ratings on these stores overall. And we asked them about fresh produce, fresh meat, overall quality. Overall quality is really tightly tied to quality of produce. People really care about produce, mainly because they don't have to make more than one stop, which is what everyone's doing now, right? They're shopping at more than one place because you might get produce at one place and then meat even at Costco and then go somewhere else for non-perishables. Anyways, overall, we found, unfortunately, so the good news is there's lots of low-cost options in the Puget Sound area. It makes us unique, really. In a lot of other markets, there aren't many low-cost options. The bad news is if you want to save money, you're going to have to forsake quality because the highest rated stores are places like PCC, Metropolitan Market, these local chains that do really well for quality, but unfortunately charge far higher prices than those low-cost options.
So among, let's say, the big ones like Fred Meyer, QFC, Safeway, Albertsons, what were considered the highest quality of the ones for us civilians?
Yeah, so more bad news. So Fred Meyer actually does have considerably lower prices than those other big conventional supermarkets. And it gets slightly higher ratings than them. But overall, these big conventional chains, they perform dreadfully for quality. None of them got very good ratings for quality. Neither did Target. And so again, it's one of those things where, I would say that if you're used to shopping at QFC or Safeway or Albertsons, you should consider changing your business to some other store because you're not going to give up much in terms of quality of produce and these other things people really care about to go to one of these lower priced stores. I mean, they in general, QFC and Walmart and even Amazon Fresh didn't rate very well for the quality of their produce or overall quality, but neither did the other big conventional stores. And the other big conventional stores are a lot more expensive.
Well, I know you've written extensively on this at checkbook.org, and usually you need a login to find this sort of stuff, but you've offered this for free for KIRO listeners. So it's checkbook.org/KIROFM/food. Not a single person is going to remember that. So what we're going to do, we're going to write a story on mynorthwest.com a little later today, and we'll have these findings. You can click through and find out more.
Great. Thanks, Charlie.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Tuesday morning, cloudy skies to start, but periods of rain will be high later today with our atmospheric river moving in through Friday. Right now, it's about 45 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a look at the economic outlook heading into 2026. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
You have what? 8 pairs of readers. One by the laptop, one in the car, one on top of your head that you forgot is there.
Now it's possible to see near and far and everything in between and stop hunting for readers forever. Refractive lens exchange, or RLE, is a quick, innovative procedure that replaces your eye's lens with a crystal clear one so you can see near and far for life. Schedule your personalized evaluation today at nearandfarvision.com.
Picture this, you're on a date, and then bad breath happens. Confidence gone. Here's the truth. Most gums and mints are just bad breath Band-Aids, but not Zellman's Minty Mouth. The functional breath freshener you swallow. Tiny dual-action capsules with mint on the outside, parsley seed oil inside, clinically tested to fight the toughest offenders, even garlic and onions. It's only available online. Go to Zellmans.com, Zellmins, Zellmans.com, code FRESH for 15% off.
10 athletes will face the toughest job interview in fitness that will push past physical and mental breaking points. You are the fittest of the fit. Only one of you will leave here with an iFit contract for $250,000.
This is when mindset comes in.
Someone will be eliminated.
Pressure is coming down.
This is Trainer Games.
Watch it on Prime Video starting January 8th.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. When it comes to the technology that the IRS is using, they're updating systems that haven't been updated in decades. And while that might sound great for them, it's usually bad for the taxpayer who owes.
It is, and their systems, unfortunately, they're just legacy systems. If you try to make an inquiry on something, it's like you got to know how to use programming language to find it. But they are working on updating that system, and I hope that really they do, because it'll serve us better, the taxpayer better, and get things done quicker. The other thing they're doing is AI, just like every organization. So they're already using it to some extent to put in profile of certain things that they want to look for in a taxpayer and find those people and go after them or see what's going on, why they're not getting their money.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Make this the last holiday season in that old kitchen. Hi, this is Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our solid wood refacing system delivers a luxurious new kitchen way easier and less expensive than a tear out. You won't believe the difference. Heritage Homecraft's specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. With Heritage Homecraft, custom means built from scratch just for you. Our own craftsmen, not subcontractors, will reface your existing cabinet boxes with 1/4-inch thick solid hardwood and add new custom-built solid hardwood doors. We can make design changes, add cabinets, install custom features, and top it all off with a brand new quartz countertop. With the holidays here, I know everyone's busy, but if you order your new Heritage Homecraft kitchen now for select install dates after the new year, I'll give you 12% off the entire project. Hey, all year long and especially next holiday season, you'll be delighted that you did. Call today, Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Get a quote today at Progressive.com.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
Best Mortgage, the VA loan and reverse mortgage experts, are proud to partner with KIRO Radio for over 20 years. Get a no-pressure consultation from a real person, never an AI bot. Web search Best Mortgage for honest advice you can trust.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. President Trump is announcing a massive bailout for American farmers suffering under his global trade war. $12 billion of taxpayer money will be used to keep farmers afloat after the president's tariff policies dried up in business overseas. CBS's Ed O'Keefe has more.
That aid is going to cattle, corn, cotton, rice, soybean, and wheat farmers. They've been hit especially hard by the president's tariff policy that's designed to boost American manufacturing production, but has led other countries, especially China, to retaliate by not buying American goods. The president insists China and Japan are now on track to buy tens of billions of dollars in soybeans in the coming years. There have been concerns that those purchases aren't moving fast enough for that key American crop to turn a profit.
One of the longest atmospheric rivers ever recorded is aimed here at Washington. UW meteorologist Cliff Mass tells the Jason Rand Show on Seattle Red 7:70 a.m. some areas could see 12 inches of rain and some rivers may have record flooding.
This is a serious event, and so there will be flooding in lowland areas, several locations over western Washington.
NOAA now expects 10 rivers to hit major flood stage. The worst flooding arrives after Wednesday's rain. Mass says the upside reservoirs will refill and the drought is over. Snohomish County is one of those rivers under flood watch through Friday as heavy rain continues to raise concerns. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley reports.
County emergency officials want to remind you to avoid travel if possible. And if you see water on the road, turn around.
Once the floodwaters arrive, it becomes really hard to get out. And so traveling through floodwaters is never a good idea.
The county will activate its emergency operations center to bring different departments under the same roof, allowing it to quickly coordinate and respond when necessary.
The Puyallup River is also under a flood watch. Here's more from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibow.
Puget Sound Energy warns the real danger is what you can't see. Rain-soaked soil, loosening tree roots, making it easier for the wind to bring them crashing down onto power lines.
We have to make sure that we get the damage assessment done first, and then we can decide what equipment we may need to start the restoration process.
PSC crews are working around the clock to restore power, but now flooding is adding another obstacle.
If there's water over the roadway, we have to wait to be able to get through and not move through unless it's safe to do so.
This week, restoration could take longer than usual, but PSC is asking customers to stay ready.
We're following the major mudslide that happened just after midnight, shutting down all lanes of I-90 eastbound of North Bend. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin.
Crews said that it's so dark in that area, they just simply can't assess it properly or safely until the sun comes up. Now, WashDOT is handling this scene. We're here at exit 34, an absolute crawl as these trucks and a few different cars as well are trying to take this exit. Got to go up to Route 2. That's really your only option. Now, if you go from here all the way over over to the Cleellum area on Route 2, that's going to take you about 3.5 hours. That's still going to be shorter than if you sit here and wait for the highway to reopen.
Can police say flock safety cameras helped officers nab a suspect in a stolen car just last week?
An officer got an alert about the stolen gray Lexus and found it behind a business along 72nd Avenue South. The 42-year-old Nevada man behind the wheel was arrested with stolen credit cards, and police say he also had fentanyl on him. Police say he knew the person he'd stolen the car and credit cards from. Well, he was taken to jail, and the car and cards were taken back to their owner. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
For your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic, Linwood to Seattle about 14 minutes right now. Everett to Seattle about 32 minutes. I-90 all lanes eastbound are shut down for that mudslide. And for your forecast, it's cloudy right now. No rain, but it will pick up this afternoon as we prepare for more of the atmospheric river. Right now, it's about 48 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
We speak with CBS business and money analyst Jill Schlesinger. JillOnMoney.com is the blog. And Jill, this week you have a blog post I think a lot of us can relate to, asking, is the economy A-okay? What's the basic premise behind this post today?
The basic premise is that it kind of depends who you are, and that really does influence how you feel about what's going on in the economy. So from 10,000 feet up, what looks like is happening is the economy is expanding. It's getting bigger. There is spending going on by corporations. Individuals are spending money. Things are rocking and rolling. Companies are making money. So that looks like the view from way up above from, the sky. However, when you come down to the ground, what you hear is something very different. There's a big divide between people who feel good about the economy and people who don't feel good about the economy. To kind of push this one step further, I would expect you to say, okay, give me an example. Think of the letter K, and here's how it works. The top arm goes up of the K, and the bottom arm goes down, right? So who's on the top arm? It's parts of the economy that are doing well. Technology, like those companies with big exposure to artificial intelligence, high earners who own homes and investments. And so then you have those folks who say everything's great with the economy. Then at the bottom arm, you have people who say, I make less than $175,000 a year. They're worried about their jobs. They may have a small exposure to the stock market inside of their retirement accounts, but it's small account values a long time before they can get the money. And those folks are saying spending on everything from child care to elder care to health care to housing to autos, it's just pushing me out of my comfort zone, and I feel bad about the economy. So that K-shaped economy really reflects that some parts of the economy are doing really well and some people are doing really well, but others feel completely shut out of those gains.
I went through the drive-thru with my 13-year-old son yesterday, and I couldn't believe it when she said the total was $25. $25 for basically 2 meals. I do not see how this is sustainable, particularly for people who have limited means. They're making $100,000 or less a year. I imagine those families are just wondering what the heck we're talking about when you see record numbers on Wall Street.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And I think that that's really endemic of the real divide. I mean, and, listen, I think it's partially the idea here that you say, well, you don't have to go through the drive-through. You can eat at home. And that's what a lot of economists will say, hey, people are making choices. But that's also why a lot of those companies that are relying on people who make less than $150,000 or $175,000 a year, they're saying, hey, we are not in great shape. People are spending money differently because, of course, they have to. I think the real issue is when you see an economy that's growing where only one part of the folks can be part of that, it creates a real inequality that's probably not sustainable. So what has to happen is that either the economy grows enough so that now the people in the bottom 75 or 80% of earners or wealth can say, oh, wait, I am catching up. I did get a wage increase. Things are good. That those people that can then feel like they're part of this economy. But without that, I think you're going to see more and more that people are going to say, I can't keep up. Now, we'll see how the year rolls around. There's one really good thing on the horizon, and that is that tax experts believe that this is going to be a tax year where there's going to be
most of that aid is going to
refunds. And if that little extra shot in the arm comes in March, people are going to start to feel a lot better about their situations.
Okay, to be continued. CBS's Jill Schlesinger. Jill, thanks for your time this morning.
Thanks for having me.
The Northwest's trusted news source.
We're learning that it was two brothers who were fatally shot in Lacey.
KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has more.
More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized.
Experienced voices you trust.
A fierce budget fight is coming down to the wire.
Coverage you can depend on.
King County's $20 billion budget.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's John Curley. If you're having joint pain, this will interest you. Wednesday, December 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
What joints have you seen really good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, one of the most experienced in the country with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Go pain-free in 2026. Join his free live stem cell webinar, Wednesday, December 17th. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on, like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
CBS News Brief. The Fed begins 2 days of meetings today. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger has a preview.
Most economists are penciling in another 0.5 percentage point of rate cuts next year. But this really does depend on whether the labor market gets out of this low hire, low fire cycle and whether tariff-related price increases start to moderate.
The Supreme Court heard arguments in a case that will determine whether a president can fire senior officials of independent federal agencies. CBS's Erica Brown says the conservative majority appeared to be in favor of doing away with a 90-year-old precedent.
Liberal justices warned overturning that decision could give the president unchecked power that limits congressional authority.
At the White House, President Trump announced a $12 billion farm aid package funded with tariffs.
We're once again in a position where
a president is able to put farmers first.
CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Tuesday morning, cloudy skies to start, but lots of rain later today. Highs will be close to 50. Right now, it's about 46 in downtown Seattle. And coming up next, Crime and Punishment, our weekly report from Casey McNerthy at the King County Prosecutor's Office. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafi, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. This holiday season, give your home the gift it's been waiting for. Beautiful new windows and doors from Pella, making your home brighter, cozier, and more energy efficient for the year ahead. Right now, enjoy 40% off qualifying installs or 24 months of zero interest with equal payments. Premium products, expert installation, and service that feels like family. It's why homeowners across the Northwest trust Pella. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your in-home consultation today.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hotfoot at thegoodrx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends. And explore the lively nightlife scene. The dining district at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at BellevueCollection.com/dining district.
This season, gift yourself the chance to slow down and truly savor holiday wonders just a short journey from home. Victoria, BC glows with festive lights, charming traditions, and the space to reconnect with yourself, loved ones, and the joy of the season. Victoria is just a scenic ferry or seaplane ride from Seattle, making it the perfect getaway. This Christmas, step into a more relaxed rhythm. Plan your trip at tourismvictoria.com.
Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime.
Seattle's Morning News, wherever you are.
We check in with Casey McNerthy from the King County Prosecutor's Office for Crime and Punishment. Casey, we're talking today about the math tutor at a Seattle middle school. He was arrested for sexual assault. The victim, 16 years old. Tell us about this case.
Yeah, so this made headlines earlier this year, and it came to the King County Prosecutor's Office from Seattle Police. Our office looked at it and said, think we can prove rape of a child here. And Lucy Pippin is the senior deputy prosecutor who handled the case. Here she is.
Once he was arrested, it was discovered that he had multiple devices with pictures of some of his students and some of them digitally modified to become explicit. And all of that was discovered based on Seattle Police Department just doing an exceptional job and making sure that this guy was held accountable, and so future students and future young people are not victimized by him.
That's horrific. He is modifying pictures of his own students.
Yeah, it's not who you want as your tutor or a teacher, really anytime going forward. And so he's now facing a pretty significant sentence.
Okay, let's hear what she has to say.
So we chose the high end of rape of a child in the second degree. Legislature sets the standard range as 78 to 102 months indeterminate. So that means that he will serve 102 months minimum. Then he'll need to go in front of the sentencing board to see if he'll get out of prison, but he could serve up to a life sentence. He will need to be under Department of Corrections supervision for life and also register as a sex offender for the rest of his life. And so hopefully both of those things will protect so many students and so many young people going forward.
Indeterminate, does that mean McNeil Island or something like that?
No, it just means that he can be in lockup longer than McNeil Island is for the sexually violent predators, which is a different classification. But it basically means if the Sentence Review Board thinks you need more time, you can get it.
Okay.
And in terms of time, it was a really emotional day in court when he was sentenced. Here's Lucy explaining that.
Starting the sentencing and being able to hear the victim's mother audibly crying and audibly distressed was very powerful for the judge. And it's a good reminder, especially to judges, that these cases are not just cases on paper, that they involve families and real people. And the more that people come into sentencing to make their statements, the better. One of the things that stood out to me the most was one of the statements that the defendant's actions have destroyed a part of our daughter's childhood. It has destroyed our family's faith in what should have been the safest place for a child. And this trauma not only hurts our daughter today, but may follow her throughout her life.
I hear that time and time again from victims and reading these impact statements. This is such a serious issue. You are messing children up for the rest of their lives. It sounds like prosecutors understand that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And the work that Lucy does and her teammates in the Special Assault Unit, which handles these cases, they really do great work. And it's really impressive to see the work they do and the dedication they have, especially with, not just one, but many cases like this. I asked Lucy about that and said, how do you do that? And here's how she explained it.
Our work is important because it takes these assaults and these instances of violence and pulls them out of the dark and out of secret such that other people can be protected. It is hard, but it's also an honor to be involved in someone's life and hopefully making it just a tiny bit better.
It is important, and we have so many people who want justice, they need justice, and in cases like this, particularly in cases like this, you have to do all you can in order to find justice for those families.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good way to say it.
Okay, we have a couple other cases going on here. This is one that made international headlines. The cameras in the bathrooms at Expedia. What's she was involved with this?
Yeah, that's another case that Lucy had, and recently got convictions for 14 felony crimes.
14 felonies.
Yeah.
So that seems like that would be some pretty significant jail time.
It will be, yeah. Or is expected to be. The sentences are concurrent, and so that means they'll happen at the same time for the multiple counts, but he's facing somewhere between 3.5 and 5 years. And so what's going to happen next is in early January, King County prosecutors will make their case. The defense will make their case for what they think is an appropriate sentence. Ultimately, it'll be up to a judge. It's expected to be somewhere in the 40-month range, but we'll see what happens in court and then move forward from there. And also, King County prosecutors got a lifetime no contact order for the victims, or for future victims if there's more that are uncovered.
And then lastly, there was a violent assault outside of your offices, 3rd and James, over the weekend. It's apparently a guy with a wooden stick, and there's some sort of nail in it, and it's a woman in her 70s who was attacked. That's just A, it's awful, but B, when something happens, basically outside your office door, is there any difference in terms of how you handle it?
It can happen anywhere in King County, and King County prosecutors will handle it the same way. But you're right, it sure is concerning to see on the news the same sidewalk you walk down every day and go, wait a minute, that's where it happened. But what in terms of the court actions, King County prosecutors were in court, argued that there was probable cause for assault with a deadly weapon. The court agreed with that after hearing from both sides. And now he's going to be in court again this afternoon. And we anticipate getting a felony case from Seattle Police later on this week for a charging decision.
Okay. Casey McNerthy, King County Prosecutor's Office. Casey, thanks for your time this morning.
It's good to see you, Charlie.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Tuesday morning, it's dry to start, but lots of rain later today. Highs will be close to 50. Right now, it's about 46 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top stories here on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio's Manda Factor.
Growing up in this area, I've heard about Holiday Magic for 37 years. They've been doing this, and I, for the first time, get to be a part of it. I am so excited. Join us tomorrow, all day long, for the 37th annual Holiday Magic benefiting Treehouse. helping to brighten the holidays for the more than 6,000 youth in foster care this holiday season. You can donate right now. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476 or visit mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
Worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
That's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchie's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchie's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchie's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchie.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. While the treatment really attacked the cancer, unfortunately, it also attacked his body. Uncontrollable fevers, terrible nosebleeds, and his skin was burned from the inside out. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society was founded 70 years ago by parents who also lost their child to cancer. Today, we're pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer.
We are so close to finding better treatments for kids with cancer. So it's too late to save Zach, but working together, we can save thousands of kids just like him.
Visit LLS.org and save a child's life.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
For seniors, the holidays can be fun family time, but can also be a stressful time if you're struggling with bills. Our friend Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says a reverse mortgage may be the holiday gift you're looking for.
Many seniors love their home but are struggling with mortgage payments and other bills. A reverse mortgage lets you tap your home equity for tax-free cash. You can pay off your debts and maybe put some extra money in the bank for peace of mind. You've worked hard for that home equity. Now let it work for you. And best of all, you'll have no mortgage payments the rest of your life.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. You'll get a no-pressure consultation directly from me or a highly experienced senior advisor. Never a sales pitch and never, ever an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the reverse mortgage experts, Best Mortgage, the VA loan experts, and debt consolidation specialists too. 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
This is Ricky Rubio, point guard for the Phoenix Suns.
And I'm Holly Robinson Peete, actor and along with Ricky, ambassador for Delivering Jobs. We know that a job is empowering and instills confidence. Yet 81% of adults with developmental differences don't have a paid job, even though companies that employ people with differences report better morale and higher productivity.
There are 6.5 million people in the U.S. with an intellectual or developmental difference such as autism.
And now, thanks to Autism Speaks, Best Buddies, the Holly Rod Foundation, and Special Olympics, there has never been more opportunity to improve hiring practices and build a more inclusive workforce. Join me, Ricky Rubio, and these amazing organizations in supporting and creating pathways to 1 million employment and leadership opportunities for this talented community.
Visit deliveringjobs.org to learn more.
That's deliveringjobs.org.
Yep, it's raining out there. Integrity Roofing and Construction is your trusted local roofing team. Integrity offers free estimates, and their customer satisfaction speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the northwest rains. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a roof assessment or video inspection today. With years of experience in roofing and restoration, their skilled team can help with a simple roof repair or a full renovation. Don't wait until the next storm hits. Schedule your free estimate today. Visit integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump hits the road today to tout his economic plans and his new $12 billion bailout for farmers suffering the effects of his global trade war and tariffs. Correspondent Ed O'Keefe is at the White House.
As we head into a midterm election year, polls continue to show the president's handling of the economy earning poor marks, down to 36% approval in our most recent CBS News poll. That's partly why he's headed out on the road today to Pennsylvania to start addressing concerns about affordability. He said over the last 2 weeks that concerns about affordability are a hoax. On Monday, though, he said Democrats are to blame for higher costs, a preview perhaps of what we might hear a little later today.
They're bracing for another winter storm in the Midwest. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano is tracking the system.
Minneapolis, really the cutoff line here. South of Minneapolis, a mixture of rain and snow. North of heavy snow, possibly up to 6 or so inches. And the winds behind this thing are no joke. So be aware of that. Chicago, Detroit, you may be in the more warm sector there, but the wind's going to be heavy. And this will get to the Northeast as we go through tomorrow as well.
It's cold in the Northeast, by the way. 16 in Boston, 7 in Binghamton, New York, 21 in Philly. The Supreme Court is scheduled to hear a case this morning about campaign spending limits. Correspondent Jan Crawford from Washington.
This is a case that I think would be very important for the political parties if the court would remove this kind of coordinated spending limitation, which in some ways, some people think the political parties have kind of gotten pushed aside in some of these more recent campaigns because you can just give unlimited amounts to big super PACs.
Someone dropped a delivery of steak, crab legs, and marijuana from a drone into a prison yard in South Carolina.
Guards at the Lee Correctional Institution spotted the drop and seized the contraband. The steak and crab legs were still in their grocery store packaging. There were also plastic baggies of pot and 2 cartons of cigarettes. The South Carolina Department of Corrections posted a photo of the loot on social media with the hashtag #ContrabandChristmas. Flying a drone near a prison in South Carolina can get you 30 days behind bars. Dropping contraband into a prison can get you 10 years. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Australia has just enacted the first social media ban for kids under the age of 16, locking thousands of teenagers like Noah Jones out of platforms, including Instagram and TikTok.
As young Australians, we will be completely silenced and cut off from our country and the rest of the world with this ban.
Social media companies now face fines of up to $33 million if they don't purge their platforms of Aussie-based accounts that belong to the under-16 set. This is CBS News.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Atmospheric river is slamming into the northwest. We'll have team coverage after we check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
Yeah, we've got plenty of roads closed for flooding in and around the area, so just be prepared for where you're going. As for the freeways here, we've got a little crash on southbound I-5 just south of 529 in Marysville over on the right-hand shoulder, causing a little bit of braking. 25 minutes from Arlington into the Everett area today. After that, it's a pretty good drive the rest of the way. Everett to Seattle, Everett to Bellevue, about 35 minutes. Looking at Puyallup to Renton, we've got ourselves about a 50-minute trip, heavy getting into and through Pacific, but after that, really not all that bad. And then Renton to Bellevue is running 15. Olympia to Tacoma, 35 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle is under 40, and Lake Bridges are in fine shape. So far, so good as we start this Tuesday morning. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning at 6:04. The biggest rainstorm in years is tearing through western Washington right now. 17 rivers are currently flooding, and freeways had to shut down for a while overnight because of landslides.
Now we wait as a second, even heavier round of rain from the atmospheric river is racing across the Pacific, and we have team coverage this morning.
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live on the scene outside of North Bend, where a mudslide shut down I-90 for a time overnight. And our Corwin Hake is in Chehalis as a flood-weary community prepares for another test.
Let's start right now with Luke. Tell us what's happening where you are, Luke.
I'm at mile marker 38, just about mile marker 38. It's kind of right near Olallie State Park as well, just east of North Bend, if you know where that is. So let me tell you what I'm looking at. So this mudslide, it covered all of the shoulder and most of the first 2 lanes of the interstate of I-90 here. It's been cleared mostly now. What I'm doing is standing on the shoulder in front of a state trooper's cruiser. They're letting me be here just for now, and then as soon as I wrap this up, I got to get off the interstate and go to the next exit. It's about a football field long, this mud. You can smell it. I can see it. There's twigs and branches everywhere. A mound of dirt about 50 feet in front of me where they've scraped it off the interstate up onto the side of the shoulder. Pretty massive. And then they've got this kind of little river, a little creek running. There's so much water in this area. It's still coming down from the hills and mountains here that it's kind of flowing around that mudslide. That was one of the problems this morning. They had to divert that. This happened around 11:30 last night. They just opened the interstate around 5:45 this morning, but only the lanes to the left. So the first lane number 1 here on the right and the shoulder is still closed this morning. But yeah, what a mess. It's going to be a while for this to be cleaned up. And I know they're concerned up and down this corridor of the same thing happening at different spots. They're certainly keeping their eye on the interstate and conditions on the side of the roads, especially the steeper parts of these hills, because it just, something breaks loose and it just comes right down on the interstate. It could be really dangerous. Back to you.
Luke, thank you. Let's head to Lewis County now, where a flood warning is underway. That's where we find KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake. Good morning, Corwin.
Good morning, Charlotte and Amanda. Greetings from an absolutely drenched Lewis County, where we're in the midst of an expected 6 inches of rainfall by tonight, along with 10 to 12 inches in the Cascades, which, as Luke was describing, streams are feeding the already stressed rivers. And in this part of the world, that includes the Newaka near Chehalis. Now, how bad is this event compared to some others? Well, some of you may recall a big flood in 2007, when floods near my location covered and closed I-5 for several days. This is not that day. I spoke with Scott Neves. He's the director of emergency management in Cowlitz County, and he tells me this event is expected to be on the moderate side comparatively.
And we don't have that sound, Corwin, so what did he tell you?
He told me that there's plenty capacity behind the dams, as he's heard from his partners in the Tacoma watershed and elsewhere. So capacity for some of that water coming down off of the Cascades to fall in behind those dams. Now, having said that, some folks in my area have already gotten into trouble. On Rush Road in Napavine, I came across a semi half submerged in water that has covered the roadway. This is just off of I-5 near the Ribeye Restaurant, if you've seen that from the freeway. And in the half hour or so since I've been here, quite a few emergency vehicles have arrived on the scene to close the road and help that semi in distress. Amanda and Charlie?
Corwin, thank you for the update. It's 6:08.
Keeping you informed since 1974.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, December 9th. We are just a day away from holiday magic here at KIRO News Radio. We're going to tell you how you can get involved in just a few minutes.
It is a busy morning. I'm Charlie Harger. Manda Factor is back, looking refreshed after a birthday weekend. Happy birthday.
Leavenworth was fabulous.
We have producer David Burbank in the studio, who's also returned from the coast. Katrina Gishard is out at the news desk following the big stories. Of course, the big story is this atmospheric river. It's been a long time since we have seen 17 rivers currently flooding right now. So we'll have our reporters throughout the morning out at the scene.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
We have a lot of news and a lot of ground to cover, but Sully, you also have a choke point coming up. What are you talking about?
Well, we're taking a look at getting light rail over I-90. We've got a date for when it might start, and we're going to kind of take a look at how we got here and why we're 3 years behind schedule.
And speaking of holiday magic, KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with a continuation of our Treehouse success stories, how that organization has helped one specific family navigate through foster care.
It's 6:09. Let's continue our coverage of the weather. Snohomish County deputies went door to door in Gold Bar last night, warning people of imminent flooding. We get more from KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Utley.
The Snohomish River in Snohomish was forecast to hit over 18 feet by 6 p.m. Monday, jumping to over 30 feet Tuesday afternoon, putting it in major flood stage. It's forecast to hit over 31 feet on Thursday and stay high through Friday.
If we need to close, then we will have to close. Like what I've said, our priorities is our safety.
Anna Maria owns a shop on First Street.
We have a little bit of everything.
She can't afford to shut down during a busy holiday week, but will do what she has to keep staff and customers safe.
For people living around La Grande in the Pearson-Thurston County areas, you might see some erosion near the Nisqually River. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
That's because Tacoma Power is about to increase the amount of water flowing out of La Grande Dam. They started this morning with a flow rate over the minor flooding level. No buildings should be threatened, but they want farms and people living near the Centralia Canal know that they might see some riverbank erosion, so a heads up for that.
And the Puyallup River is also under a flood watch, as we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao.
Puget Sound Energy warns the real danger is what you can't see. Rain-soaked soil, loosening tree roots, making it easier for the wind to bring them crashing down onto power lines.
We have to make sure that we get the damage assessment done first, and then we can decide what equipment we may need to start the restoration process.
PSE crews are working around the clock to restore power, but now flooding is adding another obstacle.
If there's water over the roadway, we have to wait to be able to get through and not move through unless it's safe to do so.
This week, restoration could take longer than usual, but PSE is asking customers to stay ready.
Stay with us as we continue to follow this storm that is soaking so much of Western Washington. It's 6:11. Only 1 week left to sign up for insurance through Washington's Health Plan Finder if you want coverage on January 1st.
The enrollment deadline comes as the U.S. Senate is set to vote Thursday to extend Obamacare tax credits. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray says Democrats want a clean 3-year extension.
Republicans need to understand it's literally now or never for stopping these premium hikes families are facing next year.
Republicans want reforms and restrictions tied to the tax credits. If Congress fails to act, premiums could spike for millions of Americans starting next year.
Mount Lake Terrace cutting ties with flock safety. City Council voted unanimously last week to end the contract. Leaders cited community division and public records concerns. According to the Everett Herald, the city signed a $54,000 deal in June. It still owes flock $27,000 for the first year. People raised concerns about misuse of the license plate reader technology.
And California banned police from wearing face coverings in September. Now Democratic lawmakers here in Washington want to do the same. Senator Javier Valdez of Seattle and Representative Julio Cortez of Everett are leading the push. According to the Washington State Standard, their proposal looks a lot like California's law. The U.S. Department of Justice sued California last month, saying the ban puts federal officers at risk and violates the Constitution. Cortez says Washington's plan would build trust and hold police accountable.
At 6:12, let's get a check on the weather. It's brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are between systems in the Seattle area right now. The main rain action is happening farther to the south, but we are not out of the woods by any means. Later this afternoon is when we expect the next band of showers to start hitting us. Heavy rain by 7 this evening, and it will continue to drench us through Wednesday, increasing the chances of flooding on area rivers. Keep in mind, right now, 17 rivers are flooding in western Washington. We have rain in the forecast the next several days, and we will be keeping an eye on everything for you. Right now, though, it has dried out. It's 49 downtown.
And it's 6:13. This is not going to make things nice on the roads today, I would imagine. Let's check traffic now with Sully.
Well, so far, so good, at least onto the freeways here. And as we heard from Luke, eastbound I-90 has reopened in North Bend. They still have one lane blocked there, the right lane, as they continue to work on the debris debris to get that out of the way. But as for our freeways here, we have about a 10-minute delay on southbound I-5 from Arlington into Everett because of a little crash over on the right-hand shoulder south of 529. So plan on a little bit of braking there. We're also starting to see a little bit of stuff past 112 to 128 down and away from Linwood. So give yourself about 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Olympia to Tacoma looks really good at this point. We've got about 35 minutes for you guys. And then up the Five Hill to 18, a little bit of slowing, and then Federal Way to Seattle, not bad, under 40 minutes. Now, the Valley Freeway, different story. We got about a 2-mile backup getting into Pacific through that construction zone there. So you should plan on about a 50-minute trip to make it from Puyallup up into Renton. There's also a little bit of slowing out of the Auburn area and a little bit up at the north end as well. Give yourself about 20 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Not too bad as we make our way through those S-curves. Across the lake, though, we're still in very good shape. 18 over Tiger Mountain, no issues there. And looks like 16 is also in very good shape as we make our way between Port Orchard and Tacoma. This traffic report is brought to you by Superior Linen Service. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company look good with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Visit SUPLinen.com.
6:15 now, and a South Carolina prison gets an unexpected delivery from above. Here's Katrina with the story.
Forget Amazon Prime. This drone was dropping crab legs, steak, and even marijuana. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Guards at the Lee Correctional Institution spotted the drop and seized the contraband. They were also in plastic baggies with pot and 2 cartons of cigarettes even. The South Carolina Department of Corrections posted a photo of the loot on social media with the hashtag Contraband Christmas. No arrests have been made. Flying a drone near a prison in South Carolina can get you 30 days behind bars.
How are you going to hide crab legs?
Not very easily.
A prison guard is going to notice that, I would think.
I would think so, too.
Thanks, Katrina. It's 6:15 now.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, you can expect to see light rail trains crossing Lake Washington sometime this month. Sound Transit is about to start the final phase of testing before opening for service.
And here with the details is our Chris Sullivan.
Up to now, Charlie, only a few train cars have gone across the lake, being pulled along the tracks during load testing. Now it's time for them to make the trip under their own power. Sound Transit's Rochelle Cunningham says revenue testing is about to begin.
We've been doing system integration testing. That's one of the phases that all of our extensions go through before opening. So that's been going on for a month or two, and we're about completed with that. That's almost successfully completed.
So the train should start rolling soon.
Around mid-December, we should move into that phase, and that will mean that people will see trains running across the I-90 floating bridge, throughout the day.
They have to make sure that the trains are running right. They have to get them up to speed. They have to get them up to time. And of course, this is also the time that they train the operators on how to go across the floating bridge. Cunningham says the goal is to start service before the start of the World Cup.
We don't have an official opening date yet, but we can confidently say it will be before May 31st.
All right, so now we have a calendar date that we can hold them to.
Confidence.
Yes, Sound Transit really working hard, they say, to try to get this done even sooner. Now, the project across the lake is running 3 years behind schedule. Revenue service was set to begin in 2023 before a series of issues put it behind. I remember walking along the tracks in the middle of the lake of July of 2019 when the Sound Transit engineer who pioneered the design to take light rail across a floating bridge, something that has never been done before in human history. It was so amazing to see the concrete blocks or plinths being used to help the rail remain stable on a floating surface. Even engineer John Sleeman appeared impressed by his own work.
We tested our trains from walking speed up to 55 miles an hour, which is our maximum running speed, to prove that it works. So a lot of time and effort went into making sure this unique design that's never been done anywhere in the world could accommodate this.
John has since retired, but I'm sure he'll be very excited to get on one of those first trains going across the bridge. Just a few months after that site visit, though, it became clear that there was a problem with those plinths. They were bad. They had to be replaced. The track had to come up. It was a devastating blow. Then came the pandemic. Then there was a concrete driver's strike for a couple of months, and here we are 3 years late. Sound Transit's Cunningham says it will be a huge deal to get trains across the lake.
Everyone is super excited about this. I mean, we're going to have so many more options for getting around the entire region once this opens. So everybody is very excited. These are some very cool technologies that we have on the I-90 floating bridge, and it's just going to be a world's first. We're super excited about that.
I've long said that the public won't feel the complete impact of light rail's expansion until it gets across Lake Washington, because basically that you're just running up and down I-5. Opening up the east side to mass transit will be a game changer. While it likely won't take a huge percentage of cars off the lake bridges or improve congestion much, light rail will provide a much faster and more reliable trip for those who use transit currently. Remember, trains don't get stuck in traffic, but buses do.
True.
Well, to paraphrase Jay-Z, we
Why
have
wouldn't we, really?
99 problems, but the plinth ain't one.
Well, yeah, that was a problem.
Not anymore, though.
They've
got that fixed. All sorts of other issues.
Yeah, of course. But and of course, the proof is in the pudding. Going from Mount Baker, going on that transition to the floating bridge and the transition from the floating bridge. They say they've got it nailed. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'll be on the first train.
I was just going to say the same thing.
I'll see if. Yeah. I mean, it's not like things have not fallen into Lake Washington before in our history.
Nick, we actually need you to do something for the show.
Okay.
Go ride the train on the first day.
I'll send Big Game Nate Connors for to do that and get some sound.
I'll create problem number 100 for you.
Yeah, it's but this is a big deal. I mean, getting across the lake will really expand the service for people who want it. Provide people like for the World Cup to maybe stay on the east side and catch a train right to the stadiums, or even for Seahawk games, for people on the east side, they can go and park at one of the park and rides and catch the train. But again, we'll see. May 31st or earlier is what they said. So we'll see. But yeah, a huge engineering feat. It's exciting to see it happen. I know we give Sound Transit a lot of guff, and they deserve it for a lot of reasons. But this will be a game changer when it finally gets across the lake.
Genuinely excited to see those running across the lake. It'll be cool.
What's the station that will be the connection point?
Well, we're going to have one at Judkins Park, then you have Mercer Island, and then there are 3 along the way, I believe. And so
I just meant we're the one in the 2.
Oh no, that's in the tunnel.
Oh, okay.
And again, that's why they called them the 1 and the 2 line. So you need to start preparing for when you're like getting on in Linwood, and you want to make sure that you go and get off at the right place to catch the train to take you to the east side. Or now as you get on, to make sure you're going all the way to Federal Way to make you. So we're going to have to start paying attention as riders, or you might end up, instead of at T-Mobile, find yourself in downtown Bellevue.
All right, Sully, you can find out more at mynorthwest.com. Well, we are celebrating holiday magic and the work of Treehouse, and we want to tell you about Landon Holtman.
He has always loved sports, soccer and cross country. He started playing in Spokane's Hoop Fest basketball tournament when he was 6, but none of those came with the challenge he craved.
And Manda has his story and tells us how Treehouse played a major role.
After trying all kinds of sports, Landon picked up a hockey stick at 10 years old, and he's never looked back.
Hockey stood out to me just because the team support and the family that comes along with it.
His own family life was a challenge through his adolescent years.
Yeah, I grew up all over the place with a bunch of different family members, my dad, stepdad, mom, and then now I'm in the foster care with some foster parents who take really good care of me, and that's been pretty good, pretty great.
Landon tells me it wasn't easy reaching that pretty great stage.
Yeah, it was definitely a struggle and how to adapt every time, but it definitely built me as a person.
That brings us to Treehouse, an organization that stepped up to make sure Landon had what he needed to feed his passion.
Treehouse just supported me through my foster experience. They supported me through school events, school sports, school dances, all that type of stuff. But they also gave me the money to spend on hockey equipment and hockey dues for the season, which helped out a lot.
Landon is now playing hockey at Washington State University as a freshman, and his relationship with Treehouse, it's alive and well.
I would say Treehouse has still supported me to this day. I meet with someone every month, and they talk to me about how they can support me and what scholarships I can do, and all that type of stuff.
Playing a sport in high school and now college is not cheap. Landon appreciates the help with the gear and the fees, but Treehouse is much more than that.
When I needed it, the having a person to talk to is super good too.
Landon now looks forward to graduating from WSU and a potential career in real estate, things that may not have been possible without his foster parents and the help of Treehouse. Manda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
So here's what I want you to do. Go right now to the Holiday Magic auction page. It's at mynorthwest.com/Holiday Magic. And on that auction page, they have a bargain for you.
Ooh,
you can start bidding on a visit to Seattle's Morning News. You can hang out with us during the show.
Scary that is.
$200 minimum bid, and this is going to be a big thing. Santa Jim, Blue Santa Jim, has done it in the past.
Nice.
We had a fabulous couple come through this year who did it last year. A good time, and you can bid on a lot of different things. It's all on the Holiday Magic auction page, and of course, we have the big event tomorrow.
I'm really excited to be part of it this time for the first time. Again, you can find more at mynorthwest.com/Holiday Magic, or you can text magic to 888-973-5476.
Okay, Sully has a look at the roads.
And all in all, we're not in too bad a shape. I mean, we do have some flooded roads here and there. The places that usually flood, you're probably going to run into that. And so just be prepared. Your route might be detoured depending on where you're going. Our heaviest slowing right now continues to be southbound I-5 as you work your way through Marysville because of a crash blocking the right shoulder as you get down past 529. Up to 30 minutes now from Arlington into Everett. That's about a 15-minute delay. You get through that and you've got about 45 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. So our volumes are building. Northbound 405 is not too bad through the Renton-Eskers. Got about 22 minutes for you guys. About 22 out of Auburn, but over 50 from Puyallup because of a 2-mile backup through Pacific. Olympia to Tacoma is not too bad. Some breaking up the Fife Hill, then 45 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino. The ultimate tribute to rock, Hairball, comes to the Emerald Queen Casino April 2nd. Tickets at theemeraldqueen.com. Hairball, April 2nd. Only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
If you're just joining us again, 17 rivers flooding this morning. We are getting a little bit of a break from the rain, but it's going to be a short break. The heavy rain returns tomorrow, 57, the high for tomorrow, so warm for this time of year. For today, we'll see the rain return late today, 50, and then the rain should taper off on Thursday, about 53 for the high. See some sun breaks toward the weekend. Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies. It's 49.
More team coverage on the way of this big storm. That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
This Christmas, skip the toys and gift cards. Instead, give a chicken. Yep, a chicken. School supplies, meals, and more. How? At the Light the World Giving Machine. It's a chance to help those in need, both locally and around the world. 100% of your donation goes to the item and charity you select with a simple push of a vending machine button. Visit the Light the World Giving Machine today at the Alderwood Mall near the Lego Store and the South Hill Mall near Dick's Sporting Goods. Go to givingmachinewa.org.
Let's light the world.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafi, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. If your home is bracing for cold drafts, frosty glass, or that one window that just won't open, it might be time for an upgrade. Right now, treat your home with 40% off qualifying installs or 24 months of 0% interest with equal payments. It's the gift your house actually wants, because it definitely didn't ask for another inflatable snowman. With With premium products, expert installation, and local service that feels like family, we'll get your home holiday ready. Visit PellaPNW.com today.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home. Thanks to the VA Home Loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. See our current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:31. Western Washington is getting drenched in the biggest rainstorm we've seen in years.
17 rivers are rising out of their banks. Neighborhoods are watching the water creep closer, and landslides shut down stretches of the freeway for a time. And while the rains have died down, this is not over.
No, a second, even stronger wave of torrential rain from an atmospheric river is surging toward us across the Pacific right now. We have team coverage this morning. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live outside North Bend, where a mudslide closed part of I-90 overnight. Corwin Hake is on the ground in Chehalis, where people who know flooding all too well are getting ready for what happens next.
And we need to start with the trouble on the roads. Chris Sullivan, you have a traffic alert for us?
Yeah, just happened. The State Patrol and the Department of Transportation have just closed SR 203 between Falls City and Carnation because of flooding of the Snoqualmie River there. You cannot go north of the roundabout there in Falls City. So that's about 5 miles worth of SR 203 that is now shut down.
All right, thanks for the update. Let's take you to the east side now. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey joins us live.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I am on the shoulder of I-90 westbound, just west of, or eastbound, I should say, just west of North Bend, around mile marker 38, if you know exactly where that is, right around a bend. So I'm looking at a football field stretch of mud and tree limbs and a small river, really, of water that they've had to divert because flowing down from the hills where I am here, along the shoulder, divert it so it doesn't go across the interstate. It's a lot of water. And it literally looks like a river going downhill back toward North Bend along the interstate. This happened around 11:30 last night. I even got the alert on my phone. It woke me up out of bed. I said, oh, look at that. I'll bet I'll do a live shot there this morning, and here I am. The interstate was completely shut down between 11:30 and about 5:45 this morning. I had talked to some truckers when I first got here to the scene, and all they wanted to know is, when is the interstate going to open? I talked with one trucker who he had to stop. He was on his way to Michigan and then Toronto, and this obviously got in the way, but opened up sooner than what they expected. WashDOT crews have been here through the night, clearing out all that mud debris, and that football field stretch of mud, it's now in about 2 massive mounds of dirt. So if you're taking I-90, you'll see it later on when the sun comes up. But looks like they got things cleared up and it's back open except for the right lane. So again, I-90 open except for that right lane. But what a mess overnight. And, here we are, day one of this atmospheric river. Let's hope we don't see more of this. But, we're seeing more and more effects of what's happening around the region. Back to you.
Now let's head to Lewis County, where a flood warning is underway. KIRO Newsradio's Corwin Haig joins us live from Chehalis. Corwin?
And I'm actually in Napavine, just south of Chehalis, Charlie, where a flooded Newaukum River is spreading over low-lying streets in the area. I-5 is above me. The streets are below. I-5 is kind of an overpass. It's in good shape in this area, but the water from the Newaukum is certainly spreading here. The National Weather Service says the nearby Cowlitz River could reach major flood stage twice this week between now and Friday. After today, well, meteorologist Cliff Mass tells us at least the worst of the rain will stop.
He did say that, Corwin. We also heard from an emergency management director in Cowlitz County.
Absolutely, and he's talking about flooding near the town of Woodland, where the Lewis River spills over some low-lying neighborhoods in that area. But the Cowlitz River is where a lot of the action is. Severe flooding near Packwood and Randall. Forecasters are telling us, they say residential and commercial areas, roads and farms throughout this floodplain near the Cowlitz River will see near record levels of flooding over the next couple of days. Hopefully this will be all over by Friday, but the worst of the flooding may yet still be to come, Charlie.
Thank you, Corwin. Now let's head over to Sully at the traffic desk.
Fortunately, once we get to the freeways, we're going to be in pretty decent shape when it comes to the rain. We might have some standing water here and there. My biggest issue, we have a 6-mile backup on southbound I-5 trying to get through Tulalip and into and through Marysville because of a crash now blocking the right lane as you get south of 529. This wasn't blocking until just now, but we've got 40 minutes from Arlington to Everett. That's a 20-minute delay and growing. And then you've got over 40 from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Puyallup to Renton, an average drive for you guys, 50 minutes there. 20 minutes from Renton to Bellevue and up over 45 from Federal Way to Seattle. So we're off to the races. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Again, the big topic of the day is the weather. The rain is going to return late today. We're getting a little bit of a break now. 50 our high. Tomorrow looks quite stormy. Heavy rain, windy, a high of 57. Looking for a half-inch of rain tomorrow. A quarter-inch on Thursday. We'll start to taper off by Thursday, but watch out for that flooding. We'll keep you posted. Right now it is cloudy and 49 in Seattle.
Time for the opening bell report. President Trump travels to Pennsylvania today to tout his work on the economy. This as farmers there and around the country could soon get one-time payments as part of an aid package to offset the president's trade war. Here's correspondent Bradley Blackburn.
The economy takes center stage as President Trump heads to Pennsylvania one day after he announced a $12 billion aid package for farmers hit hard by his tariffs and trade war with China.
This relief will provide much-needed certainty to farmers.
The White House says farmers can apply soon for payments that will go out in late February, funded by tariffs revenue.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said on the Senate floor yesterday that a one-time payment for farmers is cold comfort for all the headache and anxiety and losses they've endured because of the trade war.
Members of the Federal Reserve today will meet to talk about interest rates, as we hear from Jason Brooks.
Fed members are gathering today and Wednesday to debate whether a third consecutive rate cut is appropriate, and recent public speeches from members on the voting committee suggest that another quarter-point cut is on the way, with worries over a weakening labor market outweighing concerns over inflation, which, according to the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, rose 2.8% year over year in September. Another quarter-point cut would lower the federal funds rate to a range of 3.5% to 3.75%, and could spark homeowner refinancing activity after 3 years of elevated interest rates.
Alaska Airlines says the government shutdown hit its bottom line. An analyst estimates fourth quarter pre-tax income will drop $32 million. SeaTac-based carrier told investors it lost about 15 cents per share. The 43-day shutdown forced hundreds of flight cancellations. Puget Sound Business Journal reports Delta lost $200 million during the same period. Other airlines expect similar hits.
And Alaska is now offering new nonstop flights from SeaTac Airport to London. Tickets are on sale for daily year-round service beginning May 21st, 2026 aboard a Dreamliner. The airline recently added nonstop service to Rome and Reykjavik, joining Tokyo and Seoul as part of Alaska's growing international network.
Word of a major development in Washington's wine industry. Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
Chateau Saint Michel Wine Estates in Woodinville has been sold to Washington's Wyckoff family. That means the Northwest's largest winery will be locally owned for the first time in more than 50 years. The deal closed last week. The sale price was not announced.
One of Seattle's last roadhouses is saying goodbye. The Shanty Tavern in Lake City, right there on Lake City Way, will host its final show December 19th. Owner John Spaccaratelli is retiring at 94 years old. According to a Facebook post, the tavern's history goes back to 1932 in the Prohibition era. John bought it in 1961 and ran it for more than 6 decades. Vanishing Seattle calls it a true icon.
On Wall Street right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 104 points. The S&P 500 is ahead by 5. NASDAQ down slightly, down 17 points.
A word for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, in addition to the flooded roads, we have some problems on the freeway. Crash blocking a lane on southbound I-5 out of Marysville. We'll break it down for you next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
KIRO News Radio's Ursula Reutin.
I remember when Holiday Magic started 37 years ago. It was actually my first year here at KIRO News Radio. The impact that this program has had on so many people's lives has truly been inspiring, and I am proud to be a part of it. Join us tomorrow, all day long on KIRO News Radio for the 37th annual Holiday Magic Benefiting Treehouse. You can donate right now. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
Veterans, if you're struggling with bills, VA loan expert Steve Teitler of Best Mortgage says he may be able to cut your monthly expenses.
Many people accumulated a lot of debt over the past few years, and even if you have a low mortgage rate, your total monthly payments may be a struggle. The good news is VA loan rates have dropped, and that means you can do a VA cash-out refinance to pay off your high-interest rate debt and roll everything into one low monthly payment. For example, one of our VA clients saved $1,268 per month. And remember, with a VA loan, you can buy a home with no money down.
And you always talk to a real person, not an AI robot.
That's right. Whether you're a veteran or seeking a conventional loan, you'll talk directly to me or a highly experienced senior advisor, never an AI bot.
Honest advice you can trust from the VA loan experts. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000. Best Mortgage, 425-649-6000.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
6:43 now. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan.
And just a reminder that the Department of Transportation has just closed both directions of the 203, SR 203, just there in Falls City between there and Carnation because of water over the roadway. So watch out for delays there. As for our freeways now, we're starting to see an improvement on southbound I-5 getting into and through Marysville. It's just going to take a little while. The right lane no longer blocked as we work our way south of Marysville. But we have about a 40-minute trip from Arlington into Everett. That is a 20-minute delay. Once you get through that, you're going to have brake lights away from Linwood. We've got about a 50-minute trip now from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle, also about 50. Renton to Bellevue's getting closer to 30 minutes now. Say almost an hour now from Puyallup up to Renton because of the brake lights getting you through the Pacific area. Olympia to Tacoma's not too bad. There are some brake lights through Nisqually, but manageable. We're under 40 minutes to make that drive from Olympia on up into Tacoma. The lake bridges are still in very good shape. This traffic report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the ultimate tribute to rock. Hairball comes to the Emerald Queen Casino April 2nd. Tickets at theemeraldqueen.com. Hairball, April 2nd. Only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
What's it called again?
Hairball, baby.
All right.
Yeah!
We're talking about lots and lots of rain. We're getting a little bit of a break right now, but the rain returns late today, 50 for our high. And then tomorrow, heavy rain. It'll be windy, too. We're looking for about a half inch of rain tomorrow, 57 the high. The rain should start to taper off on Thursday. Still a very wet day, quarter inch. And then by Friday, the shower should stay in the north end, just mostly cloudy for most of us. It's 49 in Seattle right now.
A domestic doyenne is discussing plans for a final resting place. Here's Katrina with details.
Martha Stewart knows exactly what she wants to happen after she dies.
We dig a giant hole, really deep, in one of my fields. We have a pet cemetery. And the horse is wrapped in a clean white linen sheet and very carefully dropped down into this giant, lovely grave. I want to go there.
The 84-year-old told the 50 Plus and Unfiltered podcast she wants to be buried like her horses. And she says that she's not worried about potential legal issues.
It's not going to hurt anybody. It's my property.
She says coffins are just not for her.
Okay.
So they're not going to take out one of the horses because she said we dropped the horses in there. I mean, these are separate things, right?
She'll have her own plot.
Okay, but a horse... None of the horses will be put down there with her that are currently living.
She didn't specifically say that, but I would like to agree with you. Yes, Shirley.
Okay.
She's not a pharaoh.
This is exactly what I was thinking.
I know.
Can we prove that she's not?
Yeah, that's possible. So that means, I guess, some of her house staff will go with her.
I've seen The Mummy. I know how this goes.
What an odd topic.
Of course you went there.
6:46 now.
All right, coming up, KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch will continue our story of how Treehouse helps kids navigate through foster care. It's part of our Holiday Magic fundraiser. You'll hear that next here on Seattle's Morning News.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Red Hawks rising. Seattle U's men's basketball is hosting some big games at Climate Pledge. Grab your tickets at goseattleu.com/tickets. Our next home game is December 19th against UW.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO News Radio.
Well, yesterday, as part of our Holiday Magic fundraiser, our Luke Ducey told you about Winter Miller, who grew up in the foster care system and benefited greatly from Treehouse for Kids as a nonprofit focused on the specific educational needs and essential experiences of youth in foster care.
This morning, KIRO News Radio's James Lynch tells us about Winter's sister, Bethany.
Being in foster care, I didn't have the best foster parents. I grew up in a very chaotic, not the safest foster home. It feels like a piece of you is missing.
For Bethany Newbath Rios, now 26, childhood was not a particularly memorable time. She, her sisters Winter, Rachel, and Ariana were all forced into foster care at a young age. She had little, if any, contact with her birth parents and was separated from two of her sisters.
It's also really disheartening for me and my siblings. We were separated into twos. So it was Winter and my older sister, Rachel, and then it was me and my younger sister, Ariana. We were put in vastly different homes. So I think it really impacted us later on in life too, just in terms of our personalities and how we were raised differently.
We did a couple of interviews with Bethany, who says she struggled and dropped out of school in the 7th grade, but she did go back to get her GED. For that, she gives a lot of the credit to Treehouse for Kids, which provides not only essentials, but childhood experiences every child should have.
It would be incredibly different. Without the Treehouse help, without the incentive plan, I don't think I would be where I am today without all the Treehouse programs that I took advantage of.
These days, Bethany is a nanny for 2 families. She says she loves kids.
I think a big part of why I decided to be a nanny is because as a child in foster care, took care of a lot of kids. And so it gave me the love and passion for it. I like to give kids good experiences that I didn't necessarily have as a kid.
And Bethany says she doesn't want to give birth to children of her own. Foster care, she says, expanded her idea of what is possible, what is sorely needed in the foster care system, and what is best for society.
I just think foster kids get overlooked, especially older ones. We should take care of the kids that are already born and in the system versus going through other methods, if that makes sense. And so that's why I've decided that I don't want to have biological children. I would much rather be a foster parent with goals of reunification towards parents or adoption if that's a last resort.
The Holiday Magic program makes the holidays brighter for children and youth in foster care by providing them with one meaningful holiday gift. The program is made possible through a 30-year partnership with the Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families and tribal courts. Volunteers, donations, and foster parents are always needed. You can help by going to treehouseforkids.org. That's treehouseforkids.org. And if you are currently struggling in foster care, Bethany has these words of encouragement and support.
You will come across people eventually who really care about you and will make an impact on your life, even if it takes a little bit longer. I didn't get adopted until I was 18 years old. I was already an adult. It's never too late, and you'll find your people.
And your community at Treehouse stands ready to help. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Now, we have the Holiday Magic auction and fundraiser happening tomorrow. The auction is actually underway right now. Go to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic. One of the things we're doing is the KIROgram. 5 different winners will be able to get video messages from each of us. So you could bid $150, get a message from Manda or me, or I'm thinking, Steph, she is listening right now. Wouldn't Steph love to get a KIROgram from Sully? Steph, it's only $150.
Sweet Sully.
Yeah, sweet Sully. Tamara in Tacoma, I would be happy to. Manda would be happy to send you a message. A lot of cool things are up for auction, and this is going to such a great cause. Go to mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic.
You can also text the word magic to 888-973-5476.
Ooh, what about Dennis? Dennis might like one from one of us.
Maybe.
Dennis, I will say hello. It's only $150. Let's check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
I am an excuse maker for the boss.
Yeah, I'll say. I was your boss at one time.
Yeah, you were. So if you ever need to say, I was stuck in traffic and the boss is like, that's the 17th time this week. I'm not sure how that happens. I will get you out of trouble. That's what I do. Looking at the drive right now, once you get to the freeways, now I know there are a lot of flooded roads out there through Orning and Enumclaw and spots like that, now through Fall City and Carnation as well. But once you can get to the freeways, you're going to be in okay shape. We still have about a 20-minute delay on southbound I-5 getting through the Tulalip and Marysville area. We had an earlier crash there, plus all the weaving and merging. You're going to need about 42 minutes to go from Arlington down into Everett. That's a significant breakdown. Then you have an okay drive the rest of the way down. It's only 50 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, which at this time of day on a Tuesday is a little faster. So that's okay. I know it's not going to seem like it, but it is. Federal Way to Seattle is about 50 minutes, more yellow than red. It's just kind of that meandering underneath the speed limit kind of drive for you guys. Valley Freeway, different story. We've got a 3-mile backup getting into Pacific. It's close to an hour to make that drive from Puyallup to Renton. And then Renton to Bellevue, the S-curves are active, but we're under a half an hour. Lake bridges are still fine. Olympia to Tacoma still chugging along nicely as well. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Little break from the rain right now, but don't you worry. It's coming back with a vengeance. 50 for our high today. The rain will return late today. Heavy rain tomorrow. It'll be windy too. We're talking a ½ inch of rain tomorrow. 57. Should start to taper off on Thursday. About a ½ inch of rain in 53. Friday should dry out a little bit. Right now in Seattle, it's cloudy and 49.
The rain has made its impact. We have team coverage with KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on the east side, and Corwin Hake is in Cowlitz, make that Lewis County, following all the developments with this flooding here on Seattle's Morning News.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Rights reserved.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads, great for you, and so easy you could put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage, weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans, also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke. Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign. And so I saw the accident coming and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO-FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by CVS Health.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The Pacific Northwest is bracing for downpours. An atmospheric river is bringing precipitation and warnings. CBS meteorologist Rob Marciano.
Heavy rain coming in. We've got over a dozen rivers that are at flood stage, a major flood stage. Flash flood watches remain up here with this atmospheric river that's coming in. Another 5 to 10 inches of rainfall potentially here through the week.
There's another winter storm set to bash the Midwest. Just in from New York, a federal judge says the Justice Department can publicly release investigative materials from the sex trafficking case involving Jeffrey Epstein's longtime confidant, Ghislaine Maxwell. She is serving a 20-year prison sentence. There's a hearing in Florida today on the president's $10 billion defamation suit against a Rupert Murdoch publication over a birthday card featuring the curvy shape of a woman with a suggestive note allegedly sent to Epstein. Loyola Law's Lori Levinson.
The Wall Street Journal says that they can prove that indeed Trump did send that. It doesn't matter whether he drew it or he signed it. They said he sent it. And if that's true, it would not be libel or defamation.
The Fed is set to consider lowering the price of borrowing money again. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
Today, the Federal Reserve begins its final policy meeting of the year, and expectations are that the Fed will reduce interest rates by 0.25 percentage point, and that would leave the Fed funds rate at a range of 3.5% to 3.7%.
Today marks 1 year since Luigi Mangione was arrested in the murder of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. The suspect is back at court in New York now for a pretrial hearing on the evidence collected. CBS's Lilia Luciano.
Last night, prosecutors released photos showing the items in his backpack, including a 9mm handgun and silencer, as well as a red notebook, passport, and ID, and several handwritten notes. One of them described what appeared to be a map of Pittsburgh with possible escape routes. Another note read, "Keep momentum, FBI slower overnight.
Dr. Mehmet Oz, who heads Medicare and Medicaid services, offering tips on healthy holiday eating.
In an email to his 6,000 employees titled Crushing Cubicle Cravings, Oz asked them to practice portion control. He suggests using smaller plates when taking part in office cookie swaps and trying not to eat every cookie on the table. The former talk show host writes, "Don't double fist food and drink. Keep one hand free to shake hands with colleagues. Put your fork down between bites and savor each bite." A CMS spokesperson says the feedback to Oz's tips has been positive. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
This is CBS News.
Through trusted relationships and national reach, CVS Health is uniquely positioned to simplify care. Learn more at cvshealth.com/Investor Day.
7:03 now. Let's check traffic with Chris Sullivan.
Wielding the sword of traffic to try to get you through today with the lane closures and things we have from flooding in and around the area. But boy, you get to the freeways and it's not going to be that bad of a day so far. So let's try to keep that going. The biggest slowing is on southbound I-5 getting into through the Marysville area because of an earlier crash we had south of 529. It's still 40 minutes from Arlington into Everett. Then you've got about a 50-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, with most, if not all of that, away from Linwood. Northbound I-5, not bad from Olympia to Tacoma, and Tacoma itself isn't terrible. Federal Way to Seattle about 52 minutes. All in all, it's really not too bad. It's more yellow on the map than really any red until you get up past the West Seattle Bridge. Northbound 167's got about a 3-mile backup into Pacific. You guys have gotten used to this hour drive from Puyallup to Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue's under a half an hour, so that's really good. The lake bridges are still fine. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the ultimate tribute to rock. Hairball comes to the Emerald Queen Casino April 2nd. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Hairball, April 2nd, only at the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04. The first punch of the biggest rainstorm in years has landed, and it's left a mark on western Washington.
We are waking up to 17 rivers flooding and dangerous landslides that cut off cross-state travel for several hours on one freeway. But the real concern is what comes next.
Because a second, even more intense pulse of rain is barreling toward the coast right now. We have team coverage. KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is live near North Bend, where part of I-90 was closed earlier this morning. And our Corwin Hake is in Napavine, where a flood-prone community is bracing for the worst.
Let's get right to it. Luke Ducey joins us live from I-90. What are you seeing? Everything back open, Luke?
Not back open just yet. It looks like they could open all lanes here momentarily. They've got a huge, and I'm just real quick, I'm standing on the shoulder of I-90 looking down, being very careful because the right lane is still closed, but, you know, these cars are zipping by at about 70 miles plus coming past me. They've got a huge front end loader still scraping mud off the shoulder, getting it, try to back into the hills as much as possible. And then where I'm kind of standing right next to me, I'm looking at, you know, one of these points where mud just slid down from the hills. I'm looking at, you know, about a football field stretch of mud, 2 huge mounds of mud and limbs and dirt and sand and rocks. And there's like a makeshift river now going downhill back toward North Bend. They had to kind of carve out a section to get the water flowing in that direction so it would get off the interstate. This happened around 11:30 last night. I got the alert on my phone myself. And about 5:45 this morning, they reopened the interstate, all but one lane. Again, nobody injured. That's the good news, but the cleanup continues. I-90 open except for that one lane, but it looks like they're going to open up that right lane anytime now. Back to you.
Now let's head to Lewis County, where a flood warning is underway.
KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake is in Napavine and joins us live with the latest.
And this part of our state has seen at least 12 hours of persistent downpour already. Well, before the system peters out sometime after midnight tonight, another 6 inches of rain is expected to fall here in southwest Washington. The Cowlitz River in this area is experiencing major flooding, with the worst of it happening in the Cascade Foothills communities of Randall and Packwood. Now, the more populated areas of southwest Washington likely will be spared from major flooding, at least for now. Certainly spot flooding may depend on your location. I spoke with Scott Neves. He's the director of emergency management in Cowlitz County. He tells me this event at least will not reach historic proportions.
for rainfall over the next 24-hour period. We're going to be kind of in the normal trend. We don't see anything that's hugely impactful to us. We've been working with our partners at both Tacoma Power and Pacific Core with the water releases from the hydroelectric dams. Both of them have reported that they have lots of capacities behind the dams.
So that's good news. Plenty of room for that water to stay and not reach the lowlands. But historic or not, the risk to life and limb is very real. This morning in Napavine, I came across a half-submerged semi. This is on Rush Road, just off of I-5. The driver of that truck misjudged the depth of the floodwaters. His vehicle this morning remains stuck. Charlie, Manda?
Snohomish County under flood watch through Friday as heavy rain continues to raise concerns about rising water levels. With that part of the story, here's KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley.
County emergency officials want to remind you to avoid travel if possible. And if you see water on the road, turn around.
Once the floodwaters arrive, it becomes really hard to get out. And so traveling through floodwaters is never a good idea.
The county will activate its emergency operations center to bring different departments under the same roof, allowing it to quickly coordinate and respond when necessary.
We continue our coverage with KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao, who tells us the Puyallup River is also under a flood watch, and the city has closed the Riverwalk Trail until further notice.
Whipping winds and pouring rain drenched Des Moines on Monday.
Just dress for the weather and come out, and if I catch something, I catch something. If I don't, no matter. I'm not here for that. I'm here for them.
While some brave the weather, Puget Sound Energy warns the real danger is what you can't see. Rain-soaked soil, loosening tree roots, making it easier for the wind to bring them crashing down onto power lines.
With floodwaters rising, Snohomish County has opened emergency stabling at the Evergreen State Fair Park in Monroe. Barn 106 is now available for livestock owners seeking safe ground for their animals. Entry requires a signed waiver, and you must bring your own feed and handle daily care. The Fair Park will provide stall shavings and waste disposal services with accommodations limited approximately to 1 week.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Boy, it is going to get stormy around here again. A little break right now, but...
Yeah, something like 2.5 inches, 3 inches on the way still for Seattle, and we've already kind of gotten soaked, as we can see. I'm Charlie Harger alongside Manda Factor. Thanks for joining us today as we're also getting ready for Holiday Magic from KIRO News Radio. We'll tell you how you can help foster kids around the state in just a few minutes.
Producer David Burbank is back from a long weekend. Katrina Gishard at the news desk and Nick Krashes in the control room running the board and picking the music.
Our team coverage will continue throughout the morning of this flooding. We're also getting ready for some wind today, so all of that still to come on Seattle's Morning News. But coming up, we have our weekly chats with both News Nation's Leland Vittert and New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthal, getting analysis on the biggest national stories of the week.
And what's coming up in the 7:35 commentary.
Why giving to Treehouse can truly make a difference for kids in foster care.
It's 7:10. Well, the clock is ticking to sign up for health coverage. You have through Monday to enroll through Washington's Health Plan Finder for insurance starting January 1st. Ingrid Olray is CEO of the Health Benefit Exchange. She says rising premiums are keeping people away.
We're seeing fewer new customers this year because of what's going on. So far, 10,000 new customers have signed up, which is good, but that's 18% lower than last year.
The U.S. Senate votes Thursday on extending Affordable Care Act tax credits. Democrats are calling for a 3-year extension. Republicans want changes tied to the subsidies.
Mount Lake Terrace will drop its deal with Flock Safety. The council voted last week to cancel the 2-year contract. They say the camera technology sparked community division and privacy worries. City agreed to pay $54,000 for the service in June. According to the Everett Herald, it still owes half that amount for year one. Concerns about misuse of license plate readers have grown for months.
And Kent police say Flock cameras helped officers nab a suspect in a stolen car last week.
An officer got an alert about the stolen gray Lexus and found it behind a business along 72nd Avenue South. The 42-year-old Nevada man behind the wheel was arrested with stolen credit cards, and police say he also had fentanyl on him. Police say he knew the person he'd stolen the car and credit cards from. Well, he was taken to jail, and the car and cards were taken back to their owner. Frank Lindsay KIRO News Radio.
Well, we lost a broadcast legend in Seattle yesterday. Longtime KOMO reporter Brian Johnson has died.
During the next 30 minutes, we'll examine the issue of mass transit for metropolitan Seattle.
Brian was with the station for 53 years before he retired in 2012, covered everything from the Kennedy assassination to the eruption of Mount St. Helens to the inauguration of Barack Obama. Brian Johnson was 89.
One of a kind, and I'm so lucky to have had the chance to work with him.
I think we all are, and especially if you are a person who follows the news, that was a man with such integrity and such goodwill toward every listener and viewer he had. A true legend we've lost.
Super sharp wit, too.
For
Working
sure.
with him in the newsroom was
Some
amazing.
jokes we can't tell.
No.
7:12 now. Let's check weather, and it's brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are in the calm before round 2 of the storm. We're expecting heavy rain starting later this afternoon into the overnight hours and through Wednesday. Up to 2.5 inches of rain still possible in Seattle. That's what the forecast is by Thursday afternoon. So we are not out of this yet. What's causing is widespread flooding and concerns about what all this is going to do for landslides. So heavy rain still on the way here in Seattle. Don't let this dryness fool you. Right now in Seattle, it's 49 and cloudy.
And it's 7:13. Time for traffic on the threes. Chris Sullivan, how's the weather affecting things?
Well, not too badly on the freeways. However, we do have a lot of state routes blocked for water over the roadway. Again, one of the newer ones this morning, SR 203, is blocked for between Falls City and Carnation. It's about 5 miles of the road that they're dealing with water from the Snoqualmie River spilling over. Once you get over to the freeways, it's not too bad. We do have a pretty nasty crash in Monroe, right in downtown Monroe on westbound SR2. All lanes are blocked westbound right there at 522, and we have a pretty sizable backup in the area. Overall, a little bit further to the west on the I-5 and 405 corridor, we still have a 25-minute delay on southbound I-5 trying to get through Tulalip and Marysville because of a long-term crash we've been dealing with about halfway between Marysville and Everett. It's 40 minutes to get you down into Everett. And then we have about an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, definitely really starting to heat up, and unusually so this early on southbound I-5 trying to get to 520 because we have a crash on the ramp from southbound 5 to eastbound 520. I'm checking to see if that might be water over the roadway there as well, because that's a spot that is really low and floods quite easily. Rest of the map, we've got about an hour drive y'all up to Renton, not quite a half an hour, Renton to Bellevue, and getting closer to an hour from Federal Way to Seattle. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service, 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, and more. Call Superior Linen Service, they answer the phone, or visit suplinen.com.
7:14 now. In-N-Out Burger says, hold the 6-7. Katrina is here to explain.
Okay, guys, you won't find the number on the ticket system anymore. In-N-Out says it attracted crowds of teenagers who lined up to wait for order number 67 to be called out. The phrase blew up, as you know, earlier this year, sparking cheers every time the number was called. 67! Now, instead of 67, your burger jumps straight from 66 to 68. In-N-Out Burger says it's all about keeping the peace and the fries hot.
Those were fun videos to watch. Kids just gather around the counter and they're waiting, and the cashier announces it. They go nuts. It's, that's kind of good, clean fun.
Good, clean fun, but also very disruptive to business.
Yeah. It's 7:16.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
Thanks for being with us on this Tuesday morning. Every Tuesday, we chat with the host of On Balance, News Nation's Leland Vittert, to talk about some of the big national stories of the week.
And good morning, Leland. Let's begin with your latest war notes. The president is headed for Pennsylvania today to talk about the economy. He gives his score a A+++ as he talks about the economy. What are you watching for today?
Well, let's begin with something that I don't think anyone is surprised in terms of how many pluses Donald Trump gave his economy. And frankly, it doesn't really matter because the president's feeling on the economy matters precisely zero. What matters is how the American people feel about the economy, and perhaps more importantly, how the American people feel, the president feels about the economy, and whether that is in sync with them, whether the president feels their pain, to borrow the phrase from Bill Clinton. The president's advisors are encouraging him to look forward, not to look back, not to blame Joe Biden, but to talk about what he's doing and where the economy is headed, rather than telling everybody how great it is. Whether or not he takes that advice, we'll find out all together tonight.
Leland, what's significant about Paradise Township, Pennsylvania?
This is a Trump swing area that he's won, right? So that is the most important part of this. I think it speaks to the feeling of the midterms. This is an area that is Trump country, Pennsylvania obviously being a swing state. The White House is going to want this kind of, I hesitate to use the word rally, but campaign feel, that the president's supporters are behind him. And remember, they've moved this trip up by 4 weeks. This was supposed to start after the first of the year, was going to be the affordability tour, and it is now starting before Christmas, obviously. There is a desire to try and reset the narrative that the president is really engaged and cares. We don't know which Donald Trump we are going to get. Do we get the one who sticks on the teleprompter and obviously reads a speech that, at least my understanding, he has been told will be very much about what he's going to do and celebrating wins, but talking about how he understands how people feel? Or is it going to be what we've seen over the past couple of weeks that the president's advisors have said doesn't really help, which is blaming Joe Biden and calling affordability a con job?
This comes as the president announced yesterday he's giving something like $12 billion as a bailout package for American farmers. He says this money will come from tariff revenue. Give us an idea. Was this expected?
I don't know if it was expected in as much as it was necessary, right? Because American farmers are the ones that have been retaliated against by all these countries that tariffs were put on, especially soybean farmers in China. And it's not just farmers that are getting hurt, right? It's entire agricultural communities, which are deeply red areas. And these are some of Trump's core supporters. The problem for the president is you can't bail everybody out. And there's restrictions in terms of what he can do unilaterally without Congress. So you're going to be in a situation where I think he's going to have going forward this very difficult road to go on the economy. As we said last night, the best thing Trump has going for him right now and Republicans have going for them right now is Democrats.
Do we even know how much money the tariffs have brought in?
There is an accounting month by month into the Treasury. I don't have that number, but yes, we do.
And this isn't the first time this is happening. It happened during the first Trump administration as well, where farmers were bailed out. Is this time around, was this expected? I guess the question is, will this just keep happening?
Well, that's the question, right? In terms of does this just keep happening? Is that the answer of, right? The tariff bailouts, is it going to be now tariff refund checks? Is it just trying to spend more money, which is probably the only thing Washington, D.C. can ever agree on, is spending more money that we don't have.
Before we let you go, there's a big announcement for Democrats this week as U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett has filed to run for Senate in Texas in 2026. What's going on here? Does she have a shot?
Well, anybody has a shot. I think if you were Ted Cruz, you'd be a lot more concerned about an announcement by, say, Henry Cuellar, who's a centrist Democrat, in terms of actually winning in Texas. Jasmine Crockett, though, is probably the best thing that could have happened to Republicans, because when the craziest among them of either political party becomes the face of the political party, that's bad nationwide. You just have to look at what happened in 2022 with Herschel Walker. You had a couple of very winnable races for Republicans, Senate races in 2022 that they lost because they picked terrible candidates. A terrible Republican candidate looks a little bit different than a terrible Democratic candidate, but that is certainly something that Republicans are loving every minute of.
Okay, and while we have you, Leland, here you are, a national TV news anchor, great hair. Here I am, a local radio host, great hair. My question for you, though, is as we do more of these on-camera interviews, we have the cameras running at all times. I'm supposed to be looking at the lens at all times, right? What am I supposed to be doing with my face? Because I feel like I look angry.
I think that sounds like a personal problem. But,
I need tips.
Yeah.
Charlie is a very angry person,
I'm not angry, but I was looking at our video from last week, and I'm like glaring at Leland Vittert, and I apologize. But
death stare.
And you're not going to tell us how much your Christmas tree costs, are you?
Still.
That's classified.
All right. Well, News Nation's Leland Vittert, he airs live at 6 p.m. on weekdays on News Nation. And, of course, his newsletter is the warnotes.com newsletter. Leland, thank you.
Thanks, gang.
Take care. Talk to you next week. It's 7:23 right now. We need to talk traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and Chris Sullivan is here.
And we've jumped up to an hour and a half now to go from Everett to Seattle. About 20 minutes behind schedule because of a crash we had on the Ship Canal Bridge and also one that we have on the ramp from southbound 5 to eastbound 520. And we're backing up almost all the way into Northgate, so it's pretty ugly now. Plan on at least an hour away from Linwood. We've got an hour total from Everett into Bellevue, so much better on 405. Especially at the south end part of that drive. Still have about a 5-mile backup to chew through on southbound I-5 getting into and through Marysville because of this crash just past 529. It's just over the fog line, just enough to cause the problems that we're having. In Monroe, westbound Highway 2 remains blocked at 522 there for a crash just before the on-ramp, so plan on big delays getting into the Monroe area or through it, really. Valley Freeway, an hour from Puyallup to Renton, and then Renton to Bellevue is about a half an hour, and we're getting closer to an hour from Federal Way to Seattle, starting to see the brakes really pop up in earnest right around the West Seattle Bridge. Olympia to Tacoma is not too bad. 18 over Tiger Mountain is manageable, and a pretty clean drive between Tacoma and Port Orchard. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
More rain on the way, up to 2.5 inches between now and Thursday evening. So we are not out of the woods yet in Seattle. Right now, it is 49 and cloudy.
And tomorrow, December 10th, is the day KIRO News Radio is celebrating 37 years of holiday magic.
That's right. You can help foster kids in our area and Treehouse by donating and taking part in our auction. You simply need to 888-973-5476. Go to our text line and text the word magic, or you can also go online, mynorthwest.com/holiday magic to find out more.
Coming up, we continue our team coverage of how the atmospheric river is impacting areas across the state.
And coming up in today's commentary, talk about why Treehouse can make such a big change for those in foster care and how it's good for all of us. That's on the way on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio's Ursula Reutin.
I remember when Holiday Magic started 37 years ago. It was actually my first year here at KIRO News Radio. The impact that this program has had on so many people's lives has truly been inspiring, and I am proud to be a part of it. Join us tomorrow, all day long on KIRO News Radio for the 37th annual Holiday Magic benefiting Treehouse. You can donate right now. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
Doctors King and Kopstein from K2 Vision.
If you're over 50 and you've been diagnosed with a cataract, or your vision is changing as you're developing an early cataract, you could be a perfect candidate for K2 Vision RLE.
It's inevitable. At some point, typically in your 60s or 70s, you'll have a dysfunctional lens that eventually becomes a cataract. To restore your vision, you will someday need a procedure such as refractive lens exchange.
The question is, are you done with glasses? Do you want to spend your good, active years hassling with changing prescriptions and needing readers?
K2 Vision RLE can give you great vision now, permanently, and you'll never develop that cataract. The procedure is quick and painless, and our state-of-the-art custom lens technologies give highly predictable outcomes.
K2 Vision surgeons have performed nearly 100,000 procedures. We know when RLE is right for you.
Find out. Schedule a free Zoom consultation at k2visionrle.com.
K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, Nunn Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Make this the last holiday season in that old kitchen. Hi, this is Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Our solid wood refacing system delivers a luxurious new kitchen way easier and less expensive than a tear out. You won't believe the difference. Heritage Homecraft's specialty is custom cabinet refacing and quartz countertops. With Heritage Homecraft, custom means built from scratch just for you. Our own craftsmen, not subcontractors, will reface your existing cabinet boxes with 1/4-inch thick solid hardwood and add new custom-built solid hardwood doors. We can make design changes, add cabinets, install custom features, and top it all off with a brand new quartz countertop. With the holidays here, I know everyone's busy, but if you order your new Heritage Homecraft kitchen now for select install dates after the new year, I'll give you 12% off the entire project. Hey, all year long and especially next holiday season, you'll be delighted that you did. Call today, Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning, it's 7:30. Well, the first punch of the biggest rainstorm in years has landed, and it has left a mark on Western Washington.
We are waking up to 17 rivers flooding and dangerous landslides that cut off cross-state travel for several hours on one freeway. But the real concern is what comes next.
Yeah, a second, even more intense pulse of rain is barreling toward the coast right now. We have team coverage this morning. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live near Falls City, where water's covering some roads. And our Corwin Hake is in Napa Vine, where a flood-prone community is bracing for the worst.
So let's get right to Luke Ducey, who joins us near Falls City and Carnation, where water on the road is causing delays. Luke, what are you seeing?
Yeah, here I am just outside the town of Snoqualmie on Mill Pond Road, and the huge signs, the road was closed. Cars are pulling up and seeing the signs and doing a U-turn. You need to go further down here. I can't see any water over the roadway, but I tell you, driving here from I-90, that's where we were about a half an hour ago, that mudslide, there were, every farm field flooded. I saw like a business that has flooded. I'm going to go back there in a little bit to check that out, take some photos, get that online for you. But I'm looking at the Snoqualmie River right now. It is fast moving. It is up to the banks. It is very wide. I think a lot of people will be surprised at how large it is. And of course, floating down in the middle of the river, a bunch of debris, logs, tree limbs, and everything else that it's carrying from, way up high in the mountains. But yeah, this area, we're hearing about all the flooding and roads closed. This road is closed. I'm going to be checking around some other roads in this area too. Fall City, this area has been warning about flooding, and they were actually handing out, in Carnation, they were handing out sandbags over the weekend to folks, anyone who wanted them, to get ready for the flooding. But it's here, and at least this one road is closed. I'll be scouting around for some others, but man, that river is something to see. I'll send some photos and get them back, get some video back to you so you can see it as well.
Luke, thank you. Let's head to Lewis County now, where a flood warning is underway.
KIRO News Radio's Corwin Haig joins us live from Napa Vine.
Right, and Manda and Charlie, I can echo some of what Luke is seeing here. I'm seeing the effects of how the Newaukum River is spilling over its banks, making some roads impassable here in the Chehalis and Napa Vine area. The low-lying parking lot of a McDonald's just off Rush Road is underwater, forcing that restaurant to close. And across the road, rival Burger King is on higher ground, but with the road flooded, you can't get there either. Now, your access to burgers and fries might be a pretty minor issue at a time when farmlands, residential areas, back roads in this part of the state are inundated in the first volley of what could be several days of flooding. Meteorologist Cliff Mass tells us by tomorrow the rain will stop, but the flooding likely will continue.
I think Wednesday morning we'll get out of it. So, and the trouble is, that's when the worst flooding is. So it's after the heavy rain. That's when the flooding, because it takes time for the water to come out. One good thing about all this is that, the major reservoirs are going to be filled up.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a silver lining there, but the National Weather Service says the nearby Cowlitz River here could reach major flood stage twice this week between now and Friday, with severe near-record flooding in the foothills at the communities of Packwood and Randall. Charlie and Manda?
It's 7:34 now. Let's check in with Sully for traffic.
And as we prepare to deal with what's on the roads, it's always just good to ponder Egg McMuffin or croissant. And looking at the drive now, we are seeing things improve on southbound I-5 through the Ship Canal area. We had a crash there approaching 520, but we are backed up solidly back before Lake City Way. It's over an hour and a half from Everett to Seattle, and an hour and 10 of that is away from Linwood. So big time delays there. Everett to Bellevue total is about an hour and 10. That's about average, and of course
it's a reminder that yes, it doesn't get there very often, and only when it really has to.
$15 to slog through the Linwood area down through Canyon Park and into Bothell. Southbound 5 south of 529 continues to struggle with a 20-25 minute delay. Arlington to Everett at 45 minutes. Crash south of 529. Puyallup to Renton is still running at about an hour. Renton to Bellevue is about 35 minutes. Looks like we might have a crash or stalled out semi near the VMAC. I'm checking into that. Hour drive from Federal Way to Seattle, and we still are dealing with the crash in Monroe. Westbound 2 is blocked at 522 there in Monroe. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Getting a little break from the rain this morning, but it will be back late today, a high of 50. Tomorrow, early, heavy rain, windy, 57 for today. We're looking for a half inch of rain tomorrow. And then on Thursday, about a quarter inch. The rain should start to taper off. Still watch out for some flooding in areas. By Friday, just mostly cloudy. Any showers we see will stay to the north end. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 49.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
And it's time for the 7:35 commentary. Tomorrow is one of the most important days of the year at KIRO News Radio. It's our annual fundraiser for Treehouse, an organization that supports foster kids across Washington state. I need to tell you about a little boy. When I was young, a family member had a crisis. This little boy, someone I knew, ended up in the foster care system. I watched what happened to him, the confusion in his eyes, the way he stopped trusting that anything would stay the same. He'd go to bed in one house not knowing if he'd wake up somewhere else. That feeling of security most of us take for granted, it just vanished from his life. Right now, tonight, thousands of kids across Washington are sleeping in a stranger's house. They're wondering if their mom is okay, if they'll see their brother again, if this is the house where they'll finally get to stay, or if next week they'll be packing their things into a garbage bag again. A garbage bag. That's how many of these kids move from place to place. Everything they own in a trash bag. In a few weeks, families all over this area will wake up Christmas morning. Kids will run downstairs. There will be traditions, inside jokes, and that special breakfast mom makes every year. There will be people who've known them since they were born, who remember every birthday, who make them feel like they belong. Now imagine Christmas morning when you're 9 years old and you're living with your fourth family this year. People who are kind, maybe, but they're strangers. There are no traditions, no inside jokes. Nobody who remembers what you were like as a baby because nobody's known you that long. And that's the reality for thousands of Washington kids. And it gets worse. Kids who go through foster care are 3 times more likely to end up in jail as adults. Up to 50% will experience homelessness before they turn 24. Half of them. We talk about homelessness on the news every day, right? Well, many of those people sleeping on our streets, they were once that little boy or girl in a stranger's home just trying to survive childhood. But here's what gives me hope. Treehouse has been helping these kids for over 35 years. They make sure foster kids have Christmas presents so the morning doesn't feel completely empty. But they do so much more. They provide tutoring so these kids can actually graduate high school. Right now, only half of them do. They give them clothes that fit, school supplies, a chance to play sports or join a club like the other kids. They help teenagers aging out of the system learn how to find an apartment, get a job, do the things most of us learn from our parents. Adults who grew up in foster care have told us that Treehouse made them feel seen, made them feel like someone cared. For some, it was the first time in their lives they felt that. That little boy I mentioned, well, he had people fighting for him. But those scars don't just disappear. He still struggles to make connections, to trust that good things will last. That experience marked him. But so many kids don't even have people fighting for them at all. Tomorrow you can be that person. Call us. Donate. Show a child that someone out there cares that they exist. Show them you care they exist. And that's the 7:35 commentary for December 9th. You can text the show at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Thanks in advance for your help tomorrow. It's 7:39. Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
We're going to take a look at the slowing on southbound I-5 getting down toward the Ship Canal Bridge and break it down next.
KIRO News Radio's Ursula Reutin.
I remember when Holiday Magic started 37 years ago. It was actually my first year here at KIRO News Radio. The impact that this program has had on so many people's lives has truly been inspiring, and I am proud to be a part of it. Join us tomorrow, all day long on KIRO News Radio for the 37th annual Holiday Magic benefiting Treehouse. You can donate right now. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
Well, the wet, chilly weather has certainly arrived. It's Mike Salk here, and if your attic and crawl space are well insulated, your home should be fine. Should feel cozy and warm without your furnace having to work overtime. But you'd be surprised to learn how many homes in Western Washington lack insulation in these spaces. It's why you call Crawl Pros. If you're feeling cold drafts or seeing that heating bill spike, now's a great time to learn if you got anything going on behind that crawl space or attic by calling Crawl Pros. They'll come out to your house just like they did to mine, do the corner-to-corner inspection. In my case, they found the problem, showed me the pictures, and then they got it all fixed. Now, if they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates that are available to help you get the work done correctly. Like if you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could get a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost of the insulation job. If you're worried anything is going on in your crawl space or attic, including critters, water intrusion, mold, plumbing issues, anything, call Crawl Pros and schedule your free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
I got to tell you something, Nick. I have really noticed a difference in your energy level since you started going to the Longevity Medical Clinic.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they actually balanced my hormone levels. And when they do that, the largest change I noticed was that now I could sleep.
And then not only get more sleep, to just get more energy, right?
Right. So that all of a sudden that resulted in me, I started running again and doing all these things that I felt so fatigued throughout the day that I couldn't do anymore.
Okay, so at this point, do you want to apologize to me? Because I was always saying to you, every time you say, I don't sleep, I don't feel well, I feel kind of off, I go, well, you need to get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. And you're always like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. But now it's turned into something fun that we get to go in together.
So I need to hear, you were right.
You were right.
You were right. I should have gone to Longevity Medical Clinic.
I should have.
There we go. Fine.
Yes.
You know the right thing to do. Get in touch with Longevity Medical Clinic. Take the free health analysis at lmclinic.com.
7:43, that's time to check traffic. Once again, we do that every 10 minutes. What's up, Sully?
Well, we've just got a pretty miserable drive going out there for this Tuesday. Again, Tuesday's usually our heaviest, if not second heaviest day of the week. And we've had rain, we've got flooded roads, so people are going different places. And we've had some crashes. So I'm going to start with the drive coming down out of Arlington. We have about a 45-minute trip to get you down into Everett. That's a 25-minute delay alone there because of a crash south of 529 that's not really blocking. It's over on the right-hand shoulder, but it's a big enough of a distraction. We had an earlier crash on southbound I-5 right about across the Ship Canal Bridge, which has cleared, but the damage is done. Hour and a half from Everett to Seattle with an hour and 10 of that away from Linwood. That's about a 15-minute delay there. For Everett to Bellevue, it's about an hour and 10 total. We continue to struggle with westbound Highway 2 being blocked in Monroe right at 522 there for a pretty significant crash, and we've got a sizable backup there. Also looking at very slow traffic across the trestle all the way over to I-5. Not exactly sure what we've got going on there other than volume and maybe people on that road that would have taken some of the side roads that are blocked today because of the standing water. Our drive, Puyallup to Renton, over an hour from Federal Way to Seattle with 35 of those minutes from South Center, and Renton to Bellevue is rolling at about 35 minutes. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Check out Superior Linen Service.
Right now, rain is falling from Olympia south. Portland area is really getting soaked as a second round of the atmospheric river approaches. By this afternoon in the Seattle area, that's when we expect to have more rain. Up to 2.5 inches between now and Thursday afternoon. So certainly a lot more on the way. We already have 17 floods in area rivers. Right now in Seattle, it is cloudy and 49.
It's now 7:45, and it's about darn time. Katy Perry and former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau are Instagram official. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gishard.
After months of speculation, Katy Perry posted photos and videos from her tour stop in Japan showing the pair sharing sushi, taking a stroll, and getting a little cozy under a little exhibit. The post marks their public debut as a couple following sightings in Paris and Montreal earlier this year. Perry is wrapping up her Lifetime store, while Trudeau has kept a lower profile since leaving office.
I don't know if I've posted a photo with myself and my wife on Instagram. Does that mean even though we've been married for over 20 years, we're not Instagram official?
I think it counts. You'll be fine.
Okay. Well, I've got Katrina's seal of approval.
There you go. It's 7:46. Coming up, our weekly chat with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold. He's going to tell us where the most charitable organization in the world is giving most of its money. That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
Fall is here, school's back in session, and business will soon be booming with the upcoming holiday season. So get ready with help from WaFd Bank. Position your business for success with services like payment processing, so customers can buy through kiosk, mobile, online, contactless, whatever way they want to pay. Plus, get industry-leading security and personalized help from dedicated IT support so you can focus on the important stuff. With so many options, WaFd Bank can make your business goals a reality. WaFd Bank, built for business. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
An organized home is a happy home and a happy homeowner. John Curley here. Closets by Design made me and my home happy. Experience the quality and backing of a national brand with friendly local Seattle service. From booking the appointment to a free in-home consult to installation day, Closets by Design will leave you wowed and clutter-free. Right now, get up to 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months financing and free installation. Visit closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule today.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
Every Tuesday, we call up New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold to discuss the big national stories of the week.
David, good morning. Let's start with the announcement this week that President Trump plans to give a total of $12 billion to help American farmers. Where's that money coming from?
Well, you and me. There are some programs that are funded by tariffs and other things that the Agriculture Department has that you can use to help farmers or fight hunger. So there are some leftover funds left to do this, but a lot of this is coming from taxpayers. This is needed because of Trump's trade deals. China stopped buying soybeans. That's hurt a lot of soybean farmers because China was one of their main markets, and also the inflation and costs of things like farm equipment, tractors, things like that have really squeezed farmers. So this is an attempt to sort of buy off that key constituency, although it's not nearly enough to make up for the losses.
And this is something that has happened in the past with the previous Trump administration also running into a similar situation. Could they not have foreseen this coming again?
You're right that almost exactly the same thing happened in the first Trump term. And no, I guess they didn't see it coming. China has an enormous amount of leverage over the United States in these negotiations because it's this giant market for soybeans. And in the first Trump term, they agreed to buy a bunch more soybeans to try to, make up for lost time and didn't. And this time around in October, the Trump administration and China made another trade deal in which they promised to buy a whole bunch of soybeans. And so far, according to the Agriculture Department, they haven't. So that leaves farmers squeezed. And what Trump does is sort of try to bandage it by giving them a handout.
How soon will they get the help?
It should come to them pretty soon. The question is, is it enough? Does it make a difference? Like for people, if you're dealing with the high cost of inflation and also this uncertain market, would you stay in a business that now is sort of dependent on a kind of unpredictable government handout?
Let's move to NVIDIA because it was a big victory for them yesterday. Trump administration approving the sale of that chip, which is crucial to AI technology, to China. What is your analysis here, David?
Well, these are sort of the second or third best kind of chips that NVIDIA has to sell. China has wanted them for a long time. This is certainly a product of lots of sucking up to Trump by NVIDIA. Like so many of these companies, they've tried to make a personal sort of connection with the president, and he's responded by giving them more freedom to sell in China. There's two questions. One, will China want these chips? It's trying to create its own homegrown semiconductor industry. And number two, if they do, is NVIDIA going to regret this because China will just copy the technology and then create a company that will compete against them? But for now, NVIDIA seems to really want this market, and they've lobbied Trump a long time to get it.
David, before we let you go, we wanted to ask a bit about your recent article. You're looking into what is supposed to be a very philanthropic Musk Foundation.
Yeah, so Elon Musk has one of the largest foundations in the country. He needed a tax break and got a tax break by donating a bunch of Tesla shares to this foundation. It's got $14 billion now. But what we found was that it is not very charitable in the traditional sense, and that it doesn't give very much of its money to other people, to other causes. Instead, what Musk does is mainly funnel money from his one foundation to other nonprofits that he controls, including one that runs a school right by one of his factories in Texas that could serve his employees. So he uses sort of the letter of the law to move money around, but doesn't follow the spirit of the law, which is that if you have a $14 billion foundation and you've got the tax breaks for it, you're supposed to use it to help the world, not just yourself.
What do we know about that elementary school in Texas?
So it is an extremely well-funded elementary school. It is about $607 million now, all given to it by the Musk Foundation. It's really small. It's in an old farmhouse, and it's about 2 minutes away by car from this whole complex of Musk businesses near Bastrop, Texas, kind of a rural area outside of Austin. So basically, this is an area where Musk wants a whole bunch of people who are highly educated to move to this rural area to work for his companies. And now this school, this nonprofit, is providing a perk for those companies by creating a great school right where he wants his employees to live. They don't have to rely on whatever rural school was there. So yes, that's the charity Musk has given so much of his money to, is something that provides an obvious benefit to him and his companies.
Always enjoy it when you join us on the show, David. David Fahrenthold, New York Times investigative reporter. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 7:53. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes on the threes. What do you have for us, Ellie?
Well, we continue to deal with high water in places and roads closed. 203 remains closed between Fall City and Carnation. A lot of other roads as well. I just got an update. I know our Corwin-Hake is down south, but we're looking at all the exits to Rush Road off of I-5 at milepost 72 are now closed because of high water there, trying to get off either side of the freeway there. So there are issues. Once we get to the freeway, though, we've had other issues like crashes and things like that. Southbound I-5 continues to struggle out of Arlington. It's a 40-minute trip down into Everett. Big, long backup trying to get through Marysville because of a crash just south of there over on the right-hand side. 40 minutes, Arlington to Everett. We've gotten better on southbound I-5 now that we cleared the crash at the Ship Canal Bridge, back down to about an hour and 20 from Everett to Seattle, about an hour and 10 from Everett to Bellevue. Northbound I-5 really struggling getting into Seattle now. We're getting close to 40 minutes from South Center, which puts us at about an hour and 10 all the way. Over an hour from Puyallup to Renton, not only slowing through Pacific, but also with the north end part of that drive. And then Renton to Bellevue is really kind of bogging down. 40 minutes for you guys. Lake Bridges, hanging in there. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service, help your company look good with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, and more. Visit SUPlinen.com.
The showers will stay south for the next 8 hours or so. You're getting rain from Olympia all the way down to central Oregon. But showers make a comeback here in the afternoon. Heavy rain the next 36 hours or so. 46 in Seattle.
Cold is sneaking in, rats are moving in, mold is creeping in, water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Hey folks, John Curley here. When that December chill hits and your house feels colder than it should, comfort matters. And comfort isn't just warm air. It's knowing your home is ready for the winter and knowing exactly who to call if something breaks. People who show up on time, tell you straight what's going on, and fix it without turning it into a sales pitch. That's why I trust Home Comfort Alliance. If your heating, plumbing, or electrical needs attention, call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance or visit homecomfortalliance.com.
The Pacific Northwest is the perfect backdrop for the holiday season. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law reminds us that the roadways don't always agree.
It's that combination of additional travel, changes in routine, and winter weather that make this the most dangerous time of the year to be behind the wheel.
Any safety tips to help commuters keep the holidays joyful?
The number one cause of accidents remains distracted driving, even during the holidays. So store that cell phone in a place that eliminates temptation. It's imperative we set the example for our teens. Also, be aware of abrupt changes in the weather and prepare for it. Sometimes it's as simple as allowing additional distance for following or stopping. Lastly, make sure your vehicle is properly maintained for winter.
That includes four-wheel drive and chains when required at the pass. Please follow these safety precautions from my good friends at Pendergast Law and keep you and your neighbors safe this holiday season.
Happy holidays from all of us at Pendergast Law.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Fall is here, school is back in full swing, but can your bank keep up with your schedule? Well, WaFd Bank can, with free checking. Live your life and stick to your agenda without having to worry about minimum balances or monthly maintenance fees. WaFd has thousands of fee-free ATMs and more than 200 branches to serve you across 9 western states. Plus, WaFd Bank offers useful tools like voice-activated banking, so you can check your balance and make transfers between your WaFd accounts when your hands are full. And if you're like me, that's all the time. You'll also have access to free tools like online and mobile banking, bill pay, person-to-person payments with Zelle, plus mobile check deposit and full control over your debit cards to turn them on and off just in case they get misplaced. And when you open your account, choose from some great-looking debit cards to spend in style, including Seattle Kraken and Seattle Seawolves cards. So visit WaFdBank.com to open your account today and find out why they were awarded Best Bank by Newsweek 3 years in a row. With WaFd Bank, you are in control. Non-sufficient funds charges may apply. Member FDIC.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
What's your holiday tradition? For most, it's gathering with a joyful meal. Unfortunately, for many families, that tradition feels out of reach. To help, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors the next time you're at Safeway checkout or visit nourishingneighbors.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Armed with a newly proposed $12 billion bailout for some farmers, President Trump takes his record on the economy on the road. CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports it comes as polls show voter confidence in his economic leadership has faltered.
He's going to Northeast Pennsylvania, which is a corner of the state that will face one of the more competitive congressional elections next year, and it's to a district that is the kind of place where voters are going to hold the incumbent Republican accountable potentially, or at least end up in a close contest because of the concerns about inflation, about whether or not the president is responding as he should to these dour economic moods that Americans have right now.
A federal judge this morning granted the Justice Department's request to unseal records from Ghislaine Maxwell's 2021 sex trafficking case. She was Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator. CBS's Michael Wallace.
The ruling means those records could be made public within 10 days. They include reports, photos, videos, and other materials gathered by local police and federal prosecutors in Palm Beach, Florida in the mid-2000s. Maxwell's lawyer had argued the release of those files would create undue prejudice should she be granted her request for a retrial. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking at a prison camp in Texas.
Today, the U.S. Supreme Court is hearing arguments as it weighs a Republican appeal to end limits on party spending in federal elections. On the weather map, bitter cold in the east, more snow in parts of the Midwest, and as CBS's Rob Marciano tells us, a drenching in the Pacific Northwest.
It's pretty much a fire hose coming in from the Pacific Ocean. This thing pretty much emanates from the Philippines, so it's got a huge moisture fetch, and we got these flash flood watches and now warnings that are up in some cases all the way towards the end of the week. Matter of fact, we get over a dozen rivers that are, if not in flood stage, expected to get to major flood stage here very shortly.
Australia's social media ban barring kids under 16 has gone into effect. 15-year-old Noah Jones is not happy.
We just grown up with this our entire lives, and now it's just being taken away from us all of a sudden. We wouldn't even know what else we could do.
His mother, Renee, says there are dangers on the internet.
It's not all sunshine and lollipops.
From the world of music today.
All you ever do is bring me down.
The frontman of the Grammy-winning group The Mavericks has died. 60-year-old singer and guitarist Raul Malo had cancer. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 141 points. The S&P is up 12. The NASDAQ is up 37. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
8:03 now. Let's check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And I will leave most of the road closure issues to our reporters Luke and Corwin that are out there. The big one is that 203 locally between Falls City and Carnation is blocked. Once you get over to the freeways, we've had a couple of crashes plus a heavy day. I'm going to start up at Arlington, where we still have about 20 minutes to try to make it through the brake lights all the way down through Marysville because of a long-term crash we've been dealing with all morning over on the right shoulder south of 529. 40 minutes from Arlington to Everett. And then you get a pretty decent freeway speed drive down to Linwood. From that point down, Everett to Seattle, Everett to Bellevue, both about an hour and 15 minutes with just about an hour away from Linwood. Staying in that general area, we have a pretty sizable backup of about 2.5 miles on westbound 2 trying to get into Monroe. We've got a crash there blocking all westbound lanes right at 522. Detour in place. Renton to Bellevue, over 40 minutes, heavy up past 44th and then over the top of I-90. Behind that, an hour and 10-minute trip, Puyallup to Renton. Federal Way to Seattle, well over an hour with 40 of those minutes from South Center. The Lake Bridges, westbound slowing, but they're manageable. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
8:04 on the Tuesday, December 9th, 2025 edition of Seattle's Morning News. Along with Manda Factor, I'm Charlie Harger.
Well, the first punch of the biggest rainstorm in years has landed, and it has left a mark on western Washington, waking up to 17 rivers flooding, dangerous landslides that cut off cross-state travel for several hours on one freeway. But the real concern is what comes next.
That's because a second, even more intense pulse of rain is barreling toward the coast right now. So we have team coverage. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live along the Snoqualmie River, where water is covering the roadways. And our Corwin Hake is in Napavine, where a flood-prone community is bracing for the worst.
Let's get right to Luke Ducey, who joins us from near Falls City and Carnation, where water on the road is causing delays. What are you seeing, Luke?
Yeah, well, I'm seeing a road close. Highway 202 here is where I am. I can see Falls City on the other side of this flooding, and the water is now, the Snoqualmie River, flowing over Highway 202 into some property and some farmland. I see some horses in a pen. There's a neighbor out here trying to cut her fence line I don't know why, to let the water through, she thinks. I think she just bought the property, she told me. But anyways, I just talked to a WashDOT crew member who said that he was also up at the mudslide earlier and then came here to close the roads. They haven't seen this stretch of this road closed like this or flooded over in some 2 years. Squamish River is just swollen. I mean, everywhere down here. If there's a piece of farmland in a field, it is flooded. The river is moving really quickly. Looks like a giant chocolate milk river, just this brown from the mud and the silt that it's been churning up. Tree limbs, sometimes every now and then you see a log going by like the size of a school bus, at least as long as a school bus. Just it's pretty incredible to see. But again, Falls City just kind of cut off from things right now. If you want to get here, the road's closed. You got to go up and all the way around. But again, WashDOT crews haven't had to close this stretch right here, this low part of 202, in a couple of years, they said. Haven't seen it this bad. Back to you.
Luke Ducey reporting live. Let's head now to Lewis County, where high water is causing a closure of the Rush Road exit along I-5.
KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake is in Napa Vine and joins us live.
Amanda, Charlie, it's only with the arrival of daylight in just the past few minutes that I can really get a sense, just like Luke is getting, of the severity of what's happening here. As you mentioned, I'm near Rush Road in Napa Vine, where a semi-truck is mostly underwater and has been for hours after trying to navigate a flooded roadway and just not being able to do that. Forecasters were expecting 6 inches of rain by tonight. That's along with the 10 to 12 inches that would fall in the Cascades, where those streams are feeding stressed rivers in this part of the state, including rivers such as the Newaukum, the Cowlitz, with major flooding in spots there, and to a lesser extent the Lewis and Chehalis rivers. In Cowlitz County, the Director of Emergency Management, Scott Neves, is being careful not to overhype the severity of this event, although it is severe. Instead, he asks you to take this opportunity to review your family's emergency preparedness.
We encourage people always to have an emergency plan. If they're in low-lying areas that are flood-prone, have a evacuation plan set in, and just a good time to review all your emergency supplies. A lot of times we see power lines impacted due to trees falling and high wind events, which we're currently in. So just kind of all around, just be prepared.
Yeah, that's good advice. And the good news, he says, is that local dams and reservoirs have plenty of capacity to hold the majority of what's coming down from the sky. The bad news is that even after the rain stops, flooding could continue for several more days. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Corwin. Snohomish County deputies went door-to-door in Gold Bar last night, warning people of imminent flooding.
We continue our coverage with KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley.
The Snohomish River in Snohomish was forecast to hit over 18 feet by 6 p.m. Monday, jumping to over 30 feet Tuesday afternoon, putting it in major flood stage. It's forecast to hit over 31 feet on Thursday and stay high through Friday.
If we need to close, then we will have to close. Like what I've said, our priority is our safety.
Anna Maria owns a shop on First Street.
We have a little bit of everything.
She can't afford to shut down during a busy holiday week, but will do what she has to keep staff and customers safe.
If you live around LeGrand and the Pierce and Thurston County areas, you may see some erosion near the Nisqually River.
Here's KIRO 7 TV's Lindsay Sheldon.
That's because Tacoma Power is about to increase the amount of water flowing out of LeGrand Dam. They started this morning with a flow rate over the minor flooding level. No buildings should be threatened, but they want farms and people living near the Centralia Canal know that they might see some riverbank erosion, so a heads up for that.
And significant flooding expected in western Washington, the Puyallup River under a flood watch, as we hear from KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibao.
Puget Sound Energy warns the real danger is what you can't see. Rain-soaked soil, loosening tree roots, making it easier for the wind to bring them crashing down onto power lines.
We have to make sure that we get the damage assessment done first, and then we can decide what equipment we may need to start the restoration process.
PSE crews are working around the clock to restore power, but now flooding is adding another obstacle.
If there's water over the roadway, we have to wait to be able to get through and not move through unless it's safe to do so.
This week, restoration could take longer than usual, but PSE is asking customers to stay ready.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
not supposed
No
to say
singing.
that. I apologize.
That's okay. It's Tuesday, December 9th. He's Charlie Harger. I'm Manda Factor. Thanks for being with us.
And we are just a day away from holiday magic here at KIRO News Radio. We'll tell you how you can get involved in just a moment here.
Chris Sullivan is checking traffic on the threes, and producer David Burbank is back in the studio with us.
We have team coverage today as the state has flooding all over the place from this atmospheric river. We will continue to bring updates live from in the field throughout the show.
Also coming up this hour, it's a topic we've talked about before, the massive amount our state is doling out, that is, in lawsuit payments. We're going to hear about how much we're all paying in the tort tax from the president of the American Tort Reform Association, Tiger Joyce.
And G. Scott will stop by to rile up Sully.
Oh, boy.
Notre Dame has taken itself out of bowl contention. A statement about the NCAA from G.
All right, it's 8:11. Just 1 week left to sign up for insurance through Washington's Health Plan Finder if you want coverage January 1st. The enrollment deadline comes as the U.S. Senate is set to vote Thursday to extend Obamacare tax credits. Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray says Democrats want a clean 3-year extension.
Republicans need to understand it's literally now or never for stopping these premium hikes families are facing next year.
Republicans want reforms and restrictions tied to the tax credits. If Congress fails to act, premiums could spike for millions of Americans starting next year.
Coming up on 8:12, let's get a check on weather brought to us by State Roofing and Exteriors. The main rain is falling south of Olympia through central Oregon. Heavy rain they're getting right now, but it is expected that in about 8 hours or so, that is when rain will resume in Seattle. We're looking at anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe even more than that in terms of inches in the next 36 hours or so. So a big weather system still on the way. It's already caused widespread flooding, and it's anticipated it may get worse. Right now in Seattle, we have cloudy skies. It's 48.
And it's just about 8:13. That's time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes. Chris Sullivan, you have your hands full again.
Yes, I do, and I'm getting updates on the Skycomish River, actually, from our friend Mike in Salton, who is stuck and not moving on westbound Highway 2. We've got about a 4-mile backup approaching this crash in Monroe, which has blocked all westbound lanes of the highway right there at 522. So we are looking at a very sizable backup because of that, very unusual. So to get through that area. So plan on big time delays if you're trying to come over from Index or Startup or Sultan, places like that, working your way into Monroe. Over to the freeways a little further to the west, we are definitely seeing heavy brake lights through the Marysville area. Long-term crash we had at 529 or south of there is still over on the right shoulder. We've been dealing with it all morning, but the travel time has come back down. 30 minutes Arlington into Everett, so that's an improvement. Then we have about an hour and 10-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. We've kind of settled into a normal pattern, about 50 to 55 minutes away from the Linwood area. The northbound I-5 drive, we continue to see brake lights past the beginnings of Boeing Field. 40 minutes to make it into Seattle from South Center in an hour and 10 all the way. Still struggling trying to get out of Sumner, trying to work our way through Pacific, through the construction zone there. It's going to be an hour and 10 minutes all the way up into Renton. Renton to Bellevue's about 40. Lake Bridges, 520, starting to see some braking approaching Montlake. I-90 starting to see some off of Mercer Island. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Time to check in with Katrina Gouchard, and ticket service StubHub has released its annual report naming the biggest acts of 2025. Katrina?
Here are the top 10 touring artists of 2025 based on ticket sales. Starting at number 10, Beyonce. Number 9, AC/DC. 8, Billie Eilish. 7, Kendrick Lamar. 6, Morgan Wallen. In the top 5, Chris Brown, Lady Gaga, The Eagles, and Oasis. Now, any guesses who took the number 1 spot, guys?
Up with People.
Taylor Swift.
No, not Taylor Swift. One more guess?
Oh, gosh, no.
Steve Miller Band.
Foreigner.
Bad Bunny.
Okay, let's play this song.
Coldplay. I loved that show.
Yeah, the Spears tour was amazing. They just crushed it domestically and internationally.
All right, Katrina, thank you. 8:15 now on Seattle's Morning News.
Seattle's Morning News. Always live, always connected. Stream, watch, subscribe, and share at mynorthwest.com.
It's 8:15. We've talked about it before, our state's tort tax problem. Washington residents are paying up to $2,558 every year to tort claims. That's according to data from the American Tort Reform Association. and what they call their judicial hellholes report.
Okay, we have a lot to break down here. Join us to explain is the president of the American Tort Reform Association, Tiger Joyce. Tiger, good morning. I think we actually need two definitions here. First of all, what is a tort claim? Not all of us are attorneys. And what is a judicial hellhole?
Sure. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on. Simplest way to think of what a tort is just a personal injury matter. It might be something as routine as maybe a minor auto accident. It could be a physical, anything involving a physical injury. Many years ago when I was in law school, they taught us that contracts are agreements and how the terms of making an agreement, and obviously a tort would be something that doesn't involve an agreement but involves physical injury. As far as and hopefully that's sort of I would say kind of a layman's explanation, and hopefully makes some sense. As far as judicial hellholes, these are the jurisdictions where we believe that the problems of civil litigation are the most profound, at least from the perspective of defendants, and the procedures and how matters are resolved. And oftentimes it's just kind of how and to what extent judges are or are failing to properly police their dockets and how matters are resolved in their courts. And the purpose of the report is to highlight these issues, serve as a catalyst for reform. I think King County, your home county, has been on the report now for a couple of years, and we're hopeful that by elevating some of these issues, that it will help to serve, as we said, as a catalyst to some reforms.
Break it down for us a little bit more. Why does our state rank so high for lawsuit abuse?
Yeah, well, first off, I would say, and I think Charlie was mentioning this, the cost of lawsuit abuse, and I'll explain a little bit about some of the points that we make in the report, are very real. With all the discussion today about, from political leaders of both parties about affordability, for an average for a family of four in your community, it's about $10,000 is the impact, because the abuses and the excesses ultimately get passed on to consumers. I think there's sometimes some mysterious theory that the legal system exists sort of independent and separate from our daily lives, but that's just not true. And if you're a business, either you're going to go out of business, or if you have to absorb costs, you're going to pass them on. And, I think that it varies around the country in terms of how much the impact is, I think, but Washington is unfortunately at the very high end of that. In terms of some of the issues that we've highlighted, we have highlighted litigation where you have courts that, instead of applying Washington's law, now I'm going to get a little lawyerly, something called conflicts of law, about whose rules actually apply. Instead of applying Washington's law in some litigation, it's applying Missouri's law. And why they're doing that is because they believe it turns out it's more favorable to one side, including its state consumer protection statute, as well as the availability of what's called punitive damages. So, when we see matters like that, those are obviously of great concern. We also saw an example where your state Supreme Court reinstated a $185 million jury verdict against a successor to Monsanto's in a case in just this past October. When we see matters like that, when we see wrongful death lawsuits related to climate change that are being brought, and you have courts being allowed to at least proceed to consider those are examples that are, we believe, well outside the mainstream of American civil litigation.
We're speaking with Tiger Joyce from the American Tort Reform Association. Tiger, I've done a couple of radio commentaries on this. We're paying about $500 million as a state in lawsuit payouts every year. $500 million. We have a budget deficit of something like $240 million a year. So this is swallowing any, keeping us in the black in Washington state for just what the state is paying out in lawsuits. I'm curious, though, some of these lawsuits are for some truly awful things that have happened to people. Are you saying that there shouldn't be lawsuit payouts, or what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that, of course, when there are proper cases and the law clearly makes it provides for both establishing liability and the terms of how to compensate an individual, then of course, and we believe that these are policy matters and judgment matters about how to balance the interests of both parties. But I think you make an interesting point, which is that not only is the government performing government services, but it's also quite often in your state and in every state, it can find themselves as defendants. So just the same way that businesses have to address litigation issues and concerns, so do governmental entities.
We're just about out of time, but where have these kinds of changes been successful? Where do we look for guidance?
Well, I would encourage you and your listeners to look at two states clear across the country that have enacted significant reforms in the past few years. Most recently in Georgia, where Georgia was at the top of our hellholes list for several years, and for a variety of reasons. And the legislature enacted significant reforms this past year. There were also very problematic issues in Florida, many that related to their exposure to, obviously to hurricanes and just just sort of the unique nature of the climate in Florida. But again, important changes, and I think if you follow the goings on there, you'll see that it has stabilized the market for both personal and business property insurance as well as auto insurance because of a variety of important changes that were made there that I think achieve a balance. Because I think going back to the question, this is not to shut the courthouses down. It's more to ensure that the system works more fairly, and it also works faster because oftentimes litigation just takes so long to move forward.
That's Tiger Joyce, the president of the American Tort Reform Association, joining us live on Seattle's Morning News. Tiger, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Take care. It's 8:23. We need to get over to Chris Sullivan and check traffic.
And we have a very difficult day across the board. Not only do we have flooding rivers and roads being blocked for that, we've also been working with a couple of crashes. And the biggest one right now is the 4-mile backup on westbound SR2. All lanes of Highway 2 are blocked in Monroe at 522 there. And there is a detour in place, but our good friends like Mike and Sultan are just sitting there because that road doesn't have any capacity, and there's no other roads around it until you get to Monroe. So big time delays, and it's just not moving because of that. We're still waiting to get a little bit more from Monroe Police, exactly what they're dealing with there. The other accident we've been dealing with most of the morning is on southbound I-5 as you work your way south of Marysville. Looks like they may have finally gotten it out of the way because the backup is dissipating. We're back under a half an hour from Arlington into Everett, and then a pretty good drive till you get to Linwood, but boy, from there on down it's going to be a struggle. An hour drive from Linwood to Seattle or Bellevue. Northbound I-5 is struggling from the beginnings of Boeing Field. Overall, we've got a 40-minute trip, maybe 45 now, from South Center to downtown, about an hour and 15 all the way. Looking at northbound I-5, 167, we're struggling getting into and through the Pacific area. 3.5-mile backup there today, hour and 10-minute trip for you, and then Renton to Bellevue's at 45. Across the lake, we're still holding our own. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. Download the Seattle Sports app and stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams.
In between systems here, we are expecting heavy rain later this afternoon, all throughout tomorrow. Up to 2.5 inches still possible, maybe even more in the Seattle area. And rivers, 17 at last check, are at flood stage right now. In Seattle, it is 49 and cloudy.
And the season of giving is already underway. Our Holiday Magic online auction is open for bidding. All proceeds benefit Treehouse and youth in foster care across Washington. Make sure you join us tomorrow as we celebrate 37 years of Holiday Magic with a full day of inspiring stories, special guests, and ways you can help make the season brighter.
Yeah, bid, give, learn more at mynorthwest.com/holidaymagic or text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
825, Sully, you have a choke point coming up. What's up?
We're going to take a look at getting light rail across I-90 and how we got through the last 3 years of delays.
The Northwest's trusted news source.
We're learning that it was two brothers who were fatally shot in Lacey.
KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO Newsradio's James Lynch has more.
More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized.
Experienced voices you trust.
A fierce budget fight is coming down to the wire.
Coverage you can depend on.
King County's $20 billion budget.
KIRO Newsradio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. Just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X, outsmart the elements.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Hi, this is Keith Dashafi, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. This holiday season, give your home the gift it's been waiting for. Beautiful new windows and doors from Pella, making your home brighter, cozier, and more energy efficient for the year ahead. Right now, enjoy 40% off qualifying installs or 24 months of zero interest with equal payments. Premium products, expert installation, and service that feels like family. It's why homeowners across the Northwest trust Pella. Visit PellaPNW.com to schedule your in-home consultation today.
This season, gift yourself the chance to slow down and truly savor holiday wonders just a short journey from home. Victoria, BC glows with festive lights, charming traditions, and the space to reconnect with yourself, loved ones, and the joy of the season. Victoria is just a scenic ferry or seaplane ride from Seattle, making it the perfect getaway. This Christmas, step into a more relaxed rhythm. Plan your trip at tourismvictoria.com.
I'm here with my real estate guy, Wes Jones of sellwithwes.com. And Wes, the year's almost over. It's the holidays, but the spring is going to come fast.
That's right. There's not a lot of time left this year. But here's the thing. It takes a lot to get a home ready to sell if you truly want the maximum value for it. So I would encourage you, let's start the conversation now if you're planning to sell next year. We'll walk through my pre-inspection program. If there's any improvements that need to be made, I can help line up the contractors. And if needed, we have options to pay for it out of the proceeds from the sale of your home. The important thing is to have a game plan from repairs to staging, pricing strategy, and marketing. And we can help you get a jump start right now.
There's a reason I say if you want to sell for more, sell with Wes. So go to sellwithwes.com, find out the real value of your home with Wes's home value calculator, then give him a call, schedule an appointment. Sellwithwes.com. That's sellwithwes.com. It really just is a better way to sell your home.
Best Mortgage is proud to be the longest running mortgage company on KIRO Radio. Over 20 years, they've been giving honest advice you can trust as your VA loan and reverse mortgage experts and debt consolidation specialists too. Just web search Best Mortgage.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 8:31. Well, the first punch of the biggest rainstorm in years has landed, and it has already left a mark on western Washington.
We are waking up to 17 rivers flooding and dangerous landslides that cut off cross-state travel for several hours on I-90. But the real concern is what comes next.
A second, even more intense pulse of rain is barreling toward the coast right now. We have team coverage. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is live along the Snoqualmie River, and Corwin Hake is in Napavine, where they are bracing for the worst.
Let's get right to Luke Ducey. You are near Falls City and Carnation. Luke, what are you seeing?
Near Falls City, I can see it, but I can't get there, Charlie and Manda. I am right at the water's edge on Highway 202. This is new, at least for the last couple of years. They haven't seen water flood over 202 like this in a couple of years. 203 in Falls City, yeah, a lot of people around here are used to flooding. They expected flooding to happen, but this stretch right here, it's been a long time coming since this has happened. If you were listening about a half an hour ago, I'm standing right next to a farm as well. There was a woman out here in the water. It's freezing cold as well, and she's out there cutting her fence line. I was wondering why. Well, now I can see what she's talking about. It's a metal fence that she's trying to cut desperately. It's in the floodwater because it's collecting debris, and she's got a few horses about 100 feet away from the water. They're fine. They don't look like they're going to be in any danger. But I was talking to a washout crew member here who's got the road blocked, and he said not only has he not seen it like this in 2 years, but he's been watching it grow and grow. It's not getting better anytime soon. Also, people are coming down now. They're curious to take a look. I caught up with a guy named Alan, and here was Alan's reaction.
I've seen it worse, but it's been a couple of years since I've seen it go over that road right there. I haven't seen that road closed in years.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that over and over again. Now, Alan actually is from here. He lives here. His wife dropped him off, and he was going to work here, or so he thought, and this is what he told me about that.
But I own a business in town. I had my wife drop me off, and I was just going to walk to town. And then I saw that.
It's going to be a little wet if you do that.
I have the wrong pants on for that.
Yeah, he did. You need more than waders. I mean, and the current's pretty strong as well. The Snoqualmie River, real fast, is just swollen. I mean, it is running quick and fast, and it's carrying everything, tree limbs.
Oh, sounds like we lost Luke. Well, Luke, thank you for that update. Let's head now to Lewis County, where a flood warning is underway, and KIRO News Radio's Corwin Hake joins us from the scene.
And I can confirm what Luke was saying, that some people just have the wrong pants for this kind of weather and the wrong tires on their cars and even trucks. In front of me here off Rush Road in Napavine, I'm seeing a half-submerged semi that just couldn't make it early this morning when it saw a road with water on it and decided to give it a try. It didn't work out for him. And here's another way of looking at these events, guys. Rain and floods are a problem now, but we'll all be glad later. Here's what I mean. Everywhere I look here in Lewis County, I'm seeing the effects of this moderate river flooding, especially the New Whatcom River, low-lying roads in Chehalis and Napavine are underwater, some of them. And on I-5 northbound and southbound, the exits to Rush Road here are closed. It is a hassle for many. For some, as Luke was saying, it is an emergency. But for meteorologist Cliff Mass, this solves a major concern.
Everything will be soaking wet. Drought is over. If anybody continues to talk about drought now, they're deceiving you. So now so we're going to be great for water now. Then the question is next summer. And going to next summer, we want the reservoirs full. I think we'll have that. And then the whole question will be snowpack. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason to think the snowpack won't be normal. So I think we're looking really, really quite good for water.
There you go, if you're looking for a silver lining. But in the short term, we could be dealing with floods for days after this atmospheric river passes through. Charlie and Manda?
Thanks for that update, Corwin. It is time to check in with Sully for traffic.
And we continue to work with about a 4-mile backup westbound 2 trying to get into and through Monroe because of a crash involving a couple of cars. And we are getting reports from people there. It might involve a pedestrian as well. We're waiting for confirmation either way. Westbound 2 is blocked there right by the Fred Meyer at 522. Over to this side, a little bit further to the west, we got about an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Maybe an hour and 5, so not terrible. Federal Way to Seattle's kind of loosening its grip through Federal Way. Overall, we're back to about an hour and 5-minute trip for you. Still an hour and 10 from Puyallup to Renton. Renton to Bellevue's back under 40 minutes. Lake Bridges, 520 is the worst of the two right now. Very slow trying to get through Montlake. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Kind of in between storms right now. The rain will return late today, a high today of 50. Tomorrow looks quite wet, about a half inch of rain, a high of 57. It'll be windy tomorrow as well. The rain will start to taper off by late Thursday, and then just mostly cloudy on Friday. Right now in Seattle, cloudy and 49.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, this kind of got buried in a late Friday afternoon press release, but you can expect to see light rail trains crossing Lake Washington sometime this month. Sound Transit is about to start the final phase of testing before opening for service.
All right, Sully, tell us all about it.
Well, that's something that a lot of people didn't believe was actually ever going to happen. But up to now, only a few train cars have gone across the lake, being pulled along the tracks during load testing. Now it's time for them to make the trip under their own power. Sound Transit's Rochelle Cunningham says revenue testing is about to begin.
We've been doing system integration testing. That's one of the phases that all of our extensions go through before opening. So that's been going on for a month or two. And we're about completed with that. That's almost successfully completed.
The train should start rolling soon.
Around mid-December, we should move into that phase, and that will mean that people will see trains running across the I-90 floating bridge, throughout the day.
And the goal is to have service start just in time for the World Cup.
We don't have an official opening date yet, but we can confidently say it will be before May 31st.
Confidently, we can say that kind of goes along with this project, which some would say is kind of snake bitten. The project across the lake is running 3 years behind schedule. Revenue service was set to begin in 2023 before a series of issues put it behind. I remember walking along the tracks in July of 2019, and if you're looking on our YouTube live page, there's some video I took of them putting up those tracks and being all so proud of how soon this was going to get done. I was out there with the Sound Transit engineer who pioneered the design to take rail across the floating bridge, something that has never been done in human history. It was amazing to see the concrete blocks, or plinths as they're called, being used to help the rail remain stable, floating on the surface. Even the engineer that thought of it, John Sleeben, was impressed.
We tested our trains from walking speed up to 55 miles an hour, which is our maximum running speed, to prove that it works. So a lot of time and effort went into making sure this unique design that's never been done anywhere in the world could accommodate this.
Well, just a few months after that site visit, it became clear that there was a problem with those plinths. They were bad. They had to be replaced. The track had to come up. Everything that they had done, they had to start over. A devastating blow. Then came the pandemic. There was a concrete driver's strike too. And here we are. Sound Transit's Cunningham says it's going to be a huge deal to get these trains across the lake.
Everyone is super excited about this. I mean, we're going to have so many more options for getting around. the entire region once this opens. So everybody is very excited. These are some very cool technologies that we have on the I-90 floating bridge, and it's just going to be a world's first. We're super excited about that.
I had long said that public won't really feel the impact of light rail's expansion until it gets across the lake. Opening up East Side mass transit is going to be a game changer. While it won't take cars off the lake bridges, light rail will provide a much faster and reliable trip for those who use transit currently, because trains don't get stuck in traffic, but the buses do.
All right, and we can find out more at mynorthwest.com.
Certainly, of course, and see some of that video there that I took. I was taking video in 2019, back before YouTube Live was a thing for us here at KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Sully. Your traffic report coming up next on Seattle's Morning News.
KIRO News Radio's Ursula Reutin.
I remember when Holiday Magic started 37 years ago. It was actually my first year here at KIRO News Radio. The impact that this program has had on so many people's lives has truly been inspiring, and I am proud to be a part of it. Join us tomorrow, all day long on KIRO News Radio for the 37th annual Holiday Magic Benefiting Treehouse. You can donate right now. Text MAGIC to 888-973-5476.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Honey, look. 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah. They're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees, terms, and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Mariners tickets for 2026 are on sale now.
Number 60! A catcher has hit 60 home runs!
Cal Raleigh and your AL West champs will be back in action before you know it. And now's a great time to lock in your seats for the biggest games. We'll be celebrating our 50th season all year long, from opening day on March 26th to epic events like Randy Johnson's number retirement. Plus, don't miss marquee matchups against the Yankees, Phillies, and more. Go to mariners.com to get your tickets today.
8:43 now. Let's check in Sully with traffic.
And just as we thought things were getting a little bit better, we've added a new crash on southbound I-405 right there at Totem Lake at 116th. The right lane is blocked, and we're backed up all the way now past 522. Give yourself an hour and 20 minutes again to go from Everett down into Bellevue. It's about an hour and 5 from Everett to Seattle. Most of the brake lights there are from basically Northgate all the way into downtown. Both lake bridges, you're going to need about 30 minutes to go from Bellevue to Seattle on either one because of the heavy brake lights across the lake. Rented to Bellevue is about 40 minutes, so manageable. The spillover onto the Valley Freeway is not bad, and we're really quiet in Auburn, which is great. The problem is we got a 3-mile backup trying to get up to the bridge strike area through Pacific, where only the right lane is open, and we're well over an hour to make it from Puyallup up to Renton. Northbound I-5 from Federal Way to South Center isn't bad. From the beginnings of Boeing Field, though, you're going to start seeing it all the way into downtown. We've got about a 45-minute trip from South Center and an hour and 15 all the way. Olympia to Tacoma doesn't look bad. 16 is okay, 18 is fine. And just a reminder that you cannot get between Falls City and Carnation. 203 is blocked for water from the Snoqualmie River, trying to make its presence felt. This report brought to you by Superior Linen Service, 98 years servicing quality uniforms, floor mats, linens, logoed apparel, and more. Call Superior Linen Service, they answer the phone, or visit suplinen.com.
Our forecast, the rain will return late today, a high of 50, and then tomorrow looks quite wet, a half inch of rain, heavy rain, windy at times, and a high of 57. Still rain on Thursday. It should begin to taper off, though. Watch out for flooding, significant flooding by Thursday. About a quarter of an inch of rain Thursday and a high of 53. We'll start to calm down on Friday, just mostly cloudy. Right now it's 49 in Seattle.
Time to check in with Katrina Gashard. A bridesmaid's TikTok is going viral. Katrina?
Okay, so after multiple guests showed up to her sister's wedding wearing white, the first was the groom's cousin in a full floor-length gown, and more just kept rolling on in. Listen to this.
Rating the people who wore white to my sister's wedding, and wait till the end to see what the mother of the bride wore. Starting off, a guest showed up in a long, pure white dress. Multiple people offered to accidentally spill drinks on her that night. Unfortunately, the bride declined their offers. Negative 1,000 out of 10.
And their excuse, they did not know that wearing white was a rule.
Multiple guests.
The internet is just not
Seriously?
buying it.
Even Sully knows this.
Come on.
You would never wear a white dress to a wedding, Sully.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Even if I was Dennis Rodman. And it was my own wedding. Look that up. It's Google.
8:46. Thank you, Katrina. And coming up, G. Scott stops by and yeah, he's here to rile up Sully. We'll explain after this.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at k2visionrle.com.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
This is Chris Davis with the Davis Law Group. Did you know that a pedestrian does not have to be crossing the street on a marked crosswalk to have a successful legal claim against the driver? Pedestrians can even be partially at fault for a collision and still have a valuable claim. Call us today for a free consultation or get my free book on pedestrian accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
The Puyallup Tribe of Indians and Salish Cancer Center are excited to announce the 3rd annual Giving Hope Gala. You can help support the Giving Hope Gala December 13th at the Emerald Queen Casino Event Center and raise money for the Patient Financial Assistance Fund. The Salish Cancer Center helps anyone battling cancer, and attending this incredible event supports that cause. For tickets, sponsorship, and additional information on the Giving Hope Gala, visit puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live, stream it online, watch the show, or catch the podcast anytime on mynorthwest.com.
You're already chuckling, Charlie.
Yeah. If you're watching the YouTube feed, you see them jawing at each other already. Let's set the stage, though. Bowl season is upon us for college football. UW is taking the LA Bowl against Boise State Saturday. Wazoo versus Utah State in the Potato Bowl in a couple weeks.
One team that will not be participating in a bowl game is Notre Dame.
G, take it away.
First, I want to say good morning to everybody, and I want to just say this. This is very important. I believe that Notre Dame should have been in the college playoff. Okay? I want to be very clear about that. Notre Dame's decision to boycott is a direct shot at ESPN. It's a direct shot by saying, hey, you guys want to pull that? Let me show you what I can do. However, this reinforces inequality that we have at all times because there are only those at the top that have the option to quit. You see, sometimes in this world, you might not like what your boss or your landlord or your neighbor or what this situation has for you, but you don't have the option to quit. You see, if you go if you were to go to your job right now, and let's just say you make X amount of dollars an hour and you feel that you are underpaid, you know that you are underpaid. You've talked to Sally, you've talked to Richard, they all make way more than you, And you go into there and you said, hey, I'm not gonna work here anymore because I'm underpaid. You have that luxury to quit because you have somebody at home that has a paycheck, so your job, an employer could be like, wait a minute, we need this person. Okay, we'll give you more. Some people only have the opportunity to quit. So while
before you get going, now do the other 9 teams.
The other 9 teams?
The other 9 teams that are not in their bowl game. Real quick. Do they have the means or not have the means?
Listen. I said Notre Dame deserves to be in. I'm only talking about Notre Dame. I don't have time.
Why? Because Notre Dame moves the needle. The other 9 don't. Name me one of the other teams that left the college decided not to go to a bowl game.
Sully,
are they quitting?
No. I don't disagree that Notre Dame has the ability to move the needle. I'm just trying to reinforce the message that happens in the world.
Right, but your message is wrong. Inequality. If inequality was the issue, name the other 9 teams. Don't they have the means?
Wait.
Do they have the means?
Okay.
Where's the inequality? Don't they have the means? They're obviously not doing their thing.
No, listen. When I say that what reinforces inequality is there are only certain people or situations that have the ability to quit.
Right, 10 teams.
Sometimes you don't have the ability to quit. What other teams are saying that they're quitting this year?
10 other teams that are not accepting bowls for a variety of reasons. So where's the inequality? None of them are Notre Dame, but why are you talking about Notre Dame? Because
the producer asked me to come in and talk about Notre Dame.
Because they're the top draw in college football.
I'm
always have been.
Scoot down a little bit.
Just out of curiosity, the other team, so it's Notre Dame, Kansas State, Iowa State, Florida State, Auburn,
they're 10
UCF,
total.
Baylor, Rutgers, and Temple. Those are all the teams.
So they obviously have the means as well.
They have the means. Okay.
Or do they?
Okay.
It's easy to take shots at Notre Dame. I get it. I've been taking it my whole life, but that's okay. I understand. I know you know that they belong in the playoff.
I don't know. Again, I just, before I go, one last message. when privileged folks quit, it just reinforces the double standard that is happening here today.
Temple, way to emphasize your privilege, Temple.
Manda, you gonna kick me out?
You may be excused because I'm scared.
Temple emphasizing their privilege, baby. Hey, way to go, Temple.
Can you pull David out from underneath the bus, by the way? Thank you, G. Sully has traffic.
And we are working on a drive that is a little bit under. We've had some problems to deal with. We do have a sad thing to tell you about. Coming out of my rant is a little bad. Someone lost their life this morning on westbound 2. This is a fatal crash that we're dealing with, car versus pedestrian there in Monroe. And so that's why westbound 2 remains blocked. So I don't want to make light of that. That was kind of a harsh transition, but that's what you guys are dealing with there. Still dealing with a very heavy backup and a 25-minute delay on southbound 405 because of this crash at 116th and Totem Lake. Bumper to bumper from Canyon Park. Hour and 20 Everett to Bellevue. Hour from Everett to Seattle. And the rest of the travel times, Heather will give you in 10. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
We are waiting for the second punch. The rain returns late today. A high of 50. Rain for the next several days. It's 49 in Seattle.
Is Seattle really the most frugal city in the U.S.? G and Ursula coming up with that story next.
The Northwest's trusted news source.
We're learning that it was two brothers who were fatally shot in Lacey.
KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
More than 140,000 fentanyl pills and powder were seized.
Experienced voices you trust.
A fierce budget fight is coming down to the wire.
Coverage you can depend on.
King County's $20 billion budget.
KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM, the app, YouTube, and your smart speaker. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
It's clogged again.
Your drain?
Just had it cleared.
You didn't call Apollo Plumbing.
How can you tell?
Because your drain's clogged again.
So frustrating.
We can clear that drain.
That's what the last guy said.
We'll clear it, guaranteed.
He said that too.
Apollo Plumbing will clear your drain, or it's free.
Wait, what?
Apollo Plumbing clears your drain.
Or it's free?
Yep.
What's the catch?
No catch.
Fine print?
Apollo Plumbing clears your main drain for $83.
$83, or it's free?
And we'll even give you a camera inspection.
Because?
It's the best way to find what's causing your clog.
But that's extra.
Nope. Included.
No extra charge?
Not 1 cent.
$83, or it's free.
All it takes is an accessible outside cleanout.
And an Apollo plumber.
No clog is safe from Apollo Plumbing.
And just like that, my main drain is...
draining again.
How can you...
Apollo plumbers are that good.
$83, or it's free.
You call, we come.
My drain's draining again.
Guaranteed.
$83, or it's free.
As it should be.
Apollo Plumbing.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Hey, Brock Ewart here. It's such a joy for me to be joined by Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I've heard so much about traveling physical therapists. What's that mean to you and IRG?
That's a great question, Brock. Traveling physical therapy right now, I think, is a fad, and a lot of young therapists are doing it, but they're missing opportunities that we provide here at IRG. And those things we provide at IRG are really important, and that's being part of a team and treating patients, building relationships, engaging with our community. That is so important. The other thing is they're not getting paid time off. A crew are paid time off, and they do not get continuing education, professional growth, and that is so important as a young therapist to have access to professional growth. The other thing is we have an enhanced compensation program here at IRG that our physical therapists, our occupational therapists can increase their earnings by engagement, outcomes, and intervention. That's what we're all about. We're about building a great culture for young therapists and all clinicians to work here.
Openings across the whole company. Head over to irgpt.com/careers, irgpt.com/careers.
What does VA mean to me?
A place for my daughter to call home.
thanks to the VA home loan.
A new lease on life. The best healthcare team I've ever had is here at VA.
And education, and the opportunity to open doors I never thought possible with my GI Bill.
The financial support I need to manage the disabilities I developed because of my service.
Get what you earned. Visit choose.va.gov.
Not all veterans are eligible for the type or amount of benefits mentioned here.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.